mean, Riley Cooper, I mean, like, that dude deserves a statue. I mean, like,
number one on your speed dial.
Hey, I'll tell you what, like, I mean, I didn't know until a couple days after the fact. I was like, wait a minute, is he the MVP or like was he on the all-tournament team?
No doubt about it.
And then Ty Floyd, when I sure got 17, and like stole it from him. But I was like, when has a pitcher like been a part of like 5 of the 6 wins in Omaha? I mean, what a performance!
Coach, it's great to meet you.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you for the time. Yes, sir.
Sharp a little late, boys, at the spring game, obviously, as you can see. A couple of booze cruises here to do. Let's fit. Cruise. Grand salami to the boys. Finally back on track. And I got another one coming. Don't you think I don't? And that's how we roll in Tiger Stadium.
Just watching the spring games that were on television, one thing that jumped out about your squad is your quarterback room is very talented compared to a lot of the league and a lot of the country. I wonder, is it easier to recruit that position when you have talent or when you don't have talent? Coach Kelly, we're official.
Finally,
I'm
get a
telling
chance to meet you. Thought I had to get a private audience with the Pope. There's Jordy.
Monday through Friday from 7 to 9. Yeah, you see the notification, we about to go live. We got all your favorite guests, we got them in line. It's the Jordy Culotta Show,
And
come have a good time.
Tearing up, answering the question, and I thought, my God, if she gets offered this job, she's going to take it.
It's just a crazy, fun time at LSU right now. Isn't this what everybody loves?
From the boot to the east to the west coast, no matter where we at, we live. Open up the phone lines, come and join the show. Make sure you tell your friends about Jordy Culotta Show, yeah.
Let's go! Let's go!
All right.
Big day.
Start.
Big day.
Nice start.
It's the Jordy Culotta Show, come have a good time.
Coach, it's great to meet you.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you for the time. Welcome into a Monday edition of the Jordy Culotta Show, live here on this Monday morning from our Click Here Digital Campus. And we have a ton to get to on this Monday morning. We appreciate you starting your week here with us. Make sure you hit that like button, share button, comment button, subscribe if you have not already subscribed. We appreciate that as always. As daily, we're built by R&B Builders. Our phone line is brought to you by Metropolitan Health Group, formerly Metropolitan Health Group, Southern Regional Medical Center, real doctors, real solutions over at Southern Regional Medical Center. Get in touch with Charlie Harvey, Jason Ramazan, the entire crew over there as they bring you our phone lines each and every day. We're live here from our Click Here Digital Campus as we originate here each and every day. They can help you with all of your digital marketing plans. They're online at clickheredigital.com. Lloyd is here on this Monday. Stewie is here on this Monday. As we said, we have
we got one working. We got one. That's all we needed.
We got a lots to get to over the next 2 hours. As no guests, and we will have some of your reaction with the phone calls coming up in the second hour today.
I mean, Jordan, they couldn't have left Florida State out, right?
So we're gonna talk
Cadell's I'm mad.
Oh,
all about
it's just about
college
just mad.
football Final Four. How bad are the Saints?
LSU
is playing Wisconsin in Tampa Bay.
Yeah,
Jayden Daniels should win the Heisman Trophy a week from now.
Big Oregon football.
Big Bo Nix.
But first, we want to start with an announcement that started going into the weekend from our friends over at NewOrleans.football, Nick Underhill and the crew. First off, if you have you've kind of paid attention, Nick and I have kind of been together on this journey as kind of breaking off and going independent. Nick was writing for newspapers. I was in traditional radio. Nick broke off and did the subscription-based model with NewOrleans.football, and it just absolutely blown it up into a monster, right? Nearly 50,000 subscribers on YouTube. They've got a ton of subscriptions online. They've got an enormous team over there that they're building, a very credible and well-respected journalists that cover not only sports, but the New Orleans Saints, or not only the Saints, but sports in general. He's got photographers, editors, videographers. It's a growing monster, and we have always talked about how we could combine forces with what we're doing, kind of the same space, a little different lane, as he's doing professional sports and we were doing, more focused on college sports. But
the Saints were so bad.
We're excited to announce.
We touch a little college football.
We are excited to announce that coming up on January 1st, that this show will originate with NewOrleans.football on their YouTube channel. We're still working out some of the ins and outs, right? The X's and the O's of how it's going to function. But what I'm urging you to do for the next month is definitely, if you're listening to this show, get over to NewOrleans.football and subscribe to their YouTube channel, because we'll either have a collaborative effort or we'll go live from their channel. This channel will still be active, the Jordy Culotta Show. We will still have highlights, and we'll still do some things outside of 7 to 9 a.m. That's live, but the 7 to 9 a.m. block will be tied with NewOrleans.football in this partnership. Like I said, they've got nearly 50,000 subscribers on YouTube. It opens us up to an enormously bigger audience, and it gives NewOrleans.football some coverage with LSU and some college. So it's a win-win for both of us. And look, we love Nick and the team, and we're excited, really excited to make that announcement. Now, we'll be reminding you, we'll be telling you all about it. There's a ton to get to, so let's jump into it. Let's start with the Final Four and what happened yesterday. First off, the College Football Playoff Committee was in a tough spot, and you could sense that on Saturday when the first game of the day, Texas-Oklahoma State, Texas came out and looked like a playoff team. And they came out and they were flexing, and they were putting a ton of pressure on the committee, knowing that they were going to have to jump Texas multiple spots into the Final Four and how they were going to shake that up. And, by everything everybody was pulling who did not want chaos for Georgia. Georgia needed to just take care of business, and it would kind of work itself out for the most part. But then Saban, Alabama pull into Atlanta where they are 11-0. Saban is an 11-0 in Atlanta and goes and upends the number 1 team, Georgia Bulldogs, 29 straight wins. Last time they lost was to Bama in the SEC title game. And Saban and the Tide take it to Smart in Georgia on Saturday. And Georgia plummets 4 spots from 1 to 5 after being told and called all season long, without question, the best team in the sport. Right? So then all hell breaks loose. And Jay and I are in Houston over the weekend. We sat in Stingley's suite yesterday, which was an experience of a lifetime. I mean, it was an incredible experience. I'll tell you more about it after I give you the news. But Stingley played his best game as a pro, had 2 picks, 2 passes deflected, couple of tackles. I mean, looked just like Derek Stingley. And the hometown Houston faithful absolutely love him. It was a great experience. I'll tell you more about it. But when Georgia was in trouble and on the ropes, and you could sense it early. And I mean, I was RTRing all day on Saturday. I was pulling for the Tide.
Oh, you were like that.
I was
man.
RTR.
What's that guy's name?
I was getting under Kelly and Jordan's skin
Bama
just
Billy?
because they were going after. I mean, they were all the whole ride to Houston. They were like, no chance.
Oh, it's all Georgia.
Yeah, no chance.
It's all Georgia.
I'm like, y'all are crazy.
See, I thought Georgia at first,
Y'all are
but then
crazy.
once we got in that game, I was like, Jesus Christ, Nick Saban was
y'all
pissed
are
off.
nuts. This is built for Saban.
Yeah.
This
Jordy, I told you I care about you. Nobody wanted to get buried on Friday, whatever. Like,
That's
oh,
right.
it's just
See,
hard to see Alabama win.
right.
It
Like,
started off as a Kirby special because Kirby was on ass early, and then
Well, you could say
Bama-
don't
Kirby
forget
was-
who
he was getting fed his medicine by his old man.
Yeah,
by his
by
dad.
Dad.
I mean, that was that dad strength coming out.
You think you
Oldest
like
son,
cigarettes?
you still think you can kick my ass,
Yeah.
don't you? You still think, get out in the backyard. Let
Yeah.
me show you one more time. We've done this so many times.
Think you're old enough to smoke cigarettes? Here's a whole carton. You're
And
gonna learn
Saban
real quick.
goes Saban, and you could feel it. I mean, early on.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that Georgia did, Alabama had an answer for.
McConkey's hurt,
I mean,
Oh.
people were limping all over
Bowers.
the place.
Bowers is hurt, Jermaine Burton's not though.
Even though that catch Bowers made on the last touchdown drive over the
up
middle.
the middle.
I mean, where he just snags it.
All hands, coach.
So then all hell breaks loose, right? And there was no way, I told Jordan, there's no way. If it's close, they're leaving Saban out. There's no chance in the world
No shot.
that they're going to leave him out. And we can talk whether it's Saban, whether it's the Alabama brand, or whether it's the television contract with the SEC. Whatever it is, they're not going to leave the Southeastern Conference out of a 4-team playoff. And I'll buy into whatever theory you want to sell, but at no shot was the SEC ever a threat, in my opinion, to be left out of the field. You can't do it. And I know that the league was not as high power as it usually is in comparison's sake to years past. But in the grand scheme of it, you cannot decide a national champion in college football in this playoff structure without the SEC being represented. And that's how I felt as soon as it happened on Saturday, for as unfair as it is. And, you know, Jay was like, well, who do you leave out? I'm like, well, Florida State's out. Because, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, if you watch the game too, defense was dominant. You can't take it away from the defense. You can't take it away from Florida State.
And the counterpoint is, and I agree, Dan Mullen on College Football Scoreboard on Saturday, I thought summed it up best that, you know, we can talk best versus criteria, whatever it is, you know, deserving, best versus deserving all day. In my opinion, if I am going and I want to watch a 4-team playoff, I want to see the best. But what is the best?
right? Like, what is the best? Is it the best variant? To you, it could be different. To me, it could be different. To them, it could be different. So what is the criteria for the best? Because as Mullen explained to Trevor Maddich and the crew on Saturday, where I thought Mullen, it was probably his best piece of television work. And it was Maddich kind of making the case of Florida State being without their quarterback in Jordan Travis, and you haven't seen them play at another level, whether it was against Florida, whether it was against Louisville. You just didn't see their best. And you fire right back with Alabama versus Auburn, an Auburn team that was run out by New Mexico the week before, and LSU and Alabama needed a miracle to beat, which is probably going to be Hugh Freeze's worst team when it's all said and done.
And this is Alabama's quote-unquote worst team.
So, I mean, like, for every point, there's a counterpoint. Here's the baseline. Here's the bottom line. And life is not fair. College football in this structure is not fair. And for Florida State fans, I really do. That sucks.
Yeah.
That hurts. That's a gut punch. That's going to be a long off season.
Yeah.
That's going to be a long time. I mean, we had Ronnie Brown on the week of LSU Auburn 6 weeks ago. We asked him about 2004 when they were left out of it 13-0 and went to the Sugar Bowl and played a Virginia Tech team in a really good game, but it wasn't the national championship, and you could still hear the passion, the obsession, the anger that he still had in his voice for not being able to play that game. And I think forever, when you look back on the 2023 edition of the Florida State Seminoles, it's going to be with a bad taste because you just don't know.
You did everything right.
But I will say that Florida State versus Georgia, if Florida State, if you really want to kind of wear kind of half the crown, Georgia for, in my opinion, 12 consecutive weeks of the regular season was probably the best team.
They really did get the screw job of anybody.
Well, I mean, they just, for as chaotic as it got, they were the easy one out.
Yep.
Really, they're not a league champ, and Bama beat. You know what I mean? Like, they were the easy one to just kind of like take them out because there was so much chaos.
Right.
But I would say if you're really trying to find the four best, it's tough to leave them out of the argument, right?
I mean, look at these two cats. They look very excited to
play dude.
in the Orange Bowl, huh?
Kirby, there's not a
they want a skull drag
a piece of plaster that's safe around Kirby Smart right now. Every wall has a hole in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, damn it. Because
I mean, it was right there for them.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate, but that was I feel like you saw maybe the national championship in the SEC championship.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the committee, and for like the dirty little secret, the elephant in the room, they don't want to see Alabama, Georgia again.
Mm-mm.
They already played it. And they played it last year.
Well,
they've run it back so many times.
They couldn't produce that game. I don't think that game was ever a threat. But they also were saying, look, you can't leave the Southeastern Conference out.
Yeah, you have to pick one. And pick the one that just won.
Pick one.
So either plummet Georgia and put the champ in, or put them both in.
Right, that's what they were trying to avoid.
You know what I mean? Like, that's your two options.
And then Texas gets left out, and then it becomes...
Oh, they just want to put the SEC teams in
how does Texas get in above Alabama if they beat Alabama?
Right. Alabama
So
got
let's put Texas, Alabama in. And Nick Saban was doing a PSA as soon as the gun went off.
Texas really lost one of their big playmakers, and Xavier Worthy.
Yeah, he did get hurt.
I mean,
but I mean, it's not the quarterback.
No, it's not the quarterback. It's not.
Florida State makes sense. But if it was LSU, like if you put yourself in those shoes, we would be.
Oh, we'd be high.
Imagine today's show.
You'd be crusading.
I mean,
like really, you'd be rioting. If LSU went 13-0, won the league, and was left out.
Yeah. I don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide.
Jarrett Lee can win a football game. Just let him play.
Have you seen that guy? The dude that was with Drewski before the SEC championship? Bama Willie. Roll Tide Willie is his name. And he doesn't give a piss about nothing but the Tide.
Hell yeah.
And his shirt says, nothing but the Tide.
He couldn't be happier today.
No.
I mean, Michigan's response.
Oh my God,
did you tells you they got it right?
They're like, we're fucked.
You know what I mean? They were
we're
like,
fucked.
oh.
They couldn't even clap.
Yeah.
They were like,
Fellas,
Damn.
it's over.
I really wanted to see Florida State 4.
They were all gearing up for a little like walk in the park versus Florida State, and then they hit them with the Bama.
I mean, my favorite thing that Jim Harbaugh does is call his team a ball team. He's like, we got the best ball team in the country. Like before the Big Ten championship, he's like talking to the sideline reporter. He's like, yeah, this ball team's ready to play. They've been ready to play. And then he like got caught up in his words, and he's just like talking in circles again. And he's like, yeah, this ball team's just ready to play.
I guess I'm not the coach. I don't want to say too much.
Right. It's like, I don't want to give away too much. Then I think I'm cheating.
Yeah, so, but like you said, the
really,
Michigan reaction is all you needed to know.
And really, to wrap it up on just the Final Four, there was not a winning scenario.
Nope.
And I would consider really putting some football people in that room for the future. And not to say that the football people would have been able to wiggle themselves out of this mess that was created over the last couple of weeks, and which kind of culminated this past weekend. But it definitely takes off the stench of, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're looking at. I mean, you could sense Mike Norvell had that. You could sense Kirby Smart had that theory. You know what I mean? It's just, get the politicians out of the room. You know what I mean? Put Cole Kubelik back there.
Mm-hmm.
Put Chris Fowler back there.
Kirk
Herbstreit. I mean, hell, put Joel Klatt back there if you want to. I mean, just put people who watch college football every single day, care about it. Tom Luganbill, people that,
people that know ball.
People that know football.
Oh, put Corso in there.
Oh,
mummify him in the corner.
Yeah, the Lou Holtz.
Sweet Lou Holtz. Y'all came to get sweet Lou Holtz out of his house. I was just in my recliner watching the game.
Because I don't think Boo's watching, but...
Did you see how they watched the game?
JJ Pierce says, Jordy, there's 3 coaches in the room. I know there are. But get everybody else out. Get all the non-football people out. I'm talking even like Boo Corrigan.
Boo is...
Like, get that guy out of the room.
Sleepy Boo?
Like, get some people in there that can say, hey, look, if y'all want to figure out who the best is, like, let's figure out who... Put Dan Mullen in that room. I mean, people that just... They're not here for... They're not tied to anything. I mean, athletic directors... They're tied to television. They're tied to
politicking.
To politics. It's all weaved into not finding the Final Four. I know that this is the end of this era, and next year it'll be, a 12-team playoff. But don't think in 2 or 3 years that we're not going to be talking about 13, 14, and 15.
I mean, like, they're saying there's coaches in there. The one coach I just looked at, Chris Alt, he's from the University of Nevada. You think the University of Nevada has seen good football in the last 20 years?
Not since Kaepernick was over there.
Okay, so what are we talking about? We need to get some real football people in the room. Like it's not about where you coach.
And I'm not saying that solves this weekend's issues.
No, it doesn't.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying that
12-team playoff solves it.
But I think they got it right.
I don't think that there was a win.
Yeah.
I don't think that there was a scenario that you could have said, yep, that's exactly the way it should have been. But I mean, I will say this. On Saturday night, when I was just like, look, these are my 4. Those were my 4.
Yeah.
I mean.
Georgia got screwed also. That's
Georgia, I would say.
Because Texas gets in because of the
Big Ten championship.
Big Ten championship, and they balled out. They did the Ohio State over Wisconsin win, where it's like, okay, they're too good to ignore.
Yeah,
like
we gotta blow them out.
Yeah, because they blew them out
because they needed the committee to forget about that Oklahoma loss.
Yes,
and that strength of schedule. So
and the Alabama win's still there.
Exactly.
And then Alabama beats Georgia, so now Texas has to be in because Alabama is the SEC champ. But Georgia does everything you're supposed to do. If they lose, if they have the same loss that Alabama has against Texas, if it's just earlier in the year and Georgia does that, they're in.
Yeah.
The loss came at the wrong time.
Remember our friends over at A-Bears Specialty Meats. Remember A-Bears, located right here in Baton Rouge and Robert's Grocery Store off of Highland Road in Gonzales over there at the Dutchtown exit. Stop in today and pick up your turduckens, your turkeys for Christmas and the holidays. Also, remember about the gift cards over at A-Bear's Specialty Meats. You can pick up $100 worth of gift cards, and A-Bear's will give you a $25 gift card for free. You can go find them on Facebook. You can find them on Highland Road, as we said, just off of Highland and Robert's Grocery Store. Great section right there in the back with all of the great selections. Like we said, holiday season is here. Turduckens, turkeys, you can pick them up from A-Bear's Specialty Meats. Stop in and find them today. Gonzales and in Baton Rouge. A-Bear's Specialty Meats, fine sponsor here of the Jordy Culotta Show. Remember about the gift cards. For every $100 you spend in gift cards with A-Bear's Specialty Meats, they'll provide you with a $25 gift card with your purchase of $100. So check them out today. A-Bear's, located in Baton Rouge and in Gonzales. Give us a like, share, and comment, if you don't mind, here on our YouTube chat. Make sure and subscribe before we get out of here. At 9 a.m., we'll open up and take your phone calls in the second hour. If you have a reaction, it was announced yesterday that LSU is going to be facing off against Wisconsin in the ReliaQuest Bowl. It'll be coming up on January 1st at 11 a.m. as LSU is going to be headed to Tampa Bay to take on the Badgers. Wilson Alexander over at The Advocate was the one that broke it, as LSU was announced yesterday that they'll be headed to Tampa on January 1st versus an unranked Wisconsin team. Does that move the meter for you? That do anything for you?
Me?
Anybody?
No.
Anybody?
I guess Nussmeier. You get to see the Nuss show. You get a preview of what's to come probably in the 2024 season, because I think that's the most captivating part of it, right? Like, you know, if LSU is at their peak of their powers with Jayden Daniels, that's not you would imagine it would be like a 14.5-point spread.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you could set the over at 70 if you want. That doesn't matter. But with Nussmeier, I think that's what's the intrigue. If JD5 doesn't go, I think a lot of people will be have their attention on it, strictly from an LSU perspective. First, I feel like Malik is going to play, and they're probably telling him not to, but he wants that record. He's put it on paper that he wants that. So you give him.
He had to love the Wisconsin draw.
Oh, yeah, it's going to happen the first play.
Good Lord, I could be sitting down by 11:03.
Jim Leonard ain't walking through that door.
Nope.
He should be sitting by 11:15.
Yeah. Stretch and stride.
Yeah.
Get you a little warm up.
Uh-huh.
First series, 3 touches.
Pop pass.
Records. Give me that football. Give me that football helmet.
Love you, Coach.
This is going to the LSU Football Hall of Fame, both of these.
All right, Malik, go get dressed.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you're good. Get your sweat.
Appreciate your service.
But that's
what a career.
What a career.
Sneaky
great. Josh Reed's was loud.
Mm-hmm.
Malik Neighbors got loud at times. It was just very
consistent.
I guess you would call it under the radar.
But consistent. I like that word you used.
Hopefully, a week from today, we're talking about Jayden Daniels, the Heisman winner, and Malik Neighbors, the Biletnikoff.
Friday night.
Friday night. I think that's exactly what you needed to see.
Thank you, Bo Nix, Coach.
I don't know who made the call, if it was Vegas or the Heisman committee, but they're like, we got to get Oregon back in this football game. Because towards the end of that
thing was about to get
end
ugly.
of the first half, when they make that call, they're like, oh, somebody buzzed the tower.
Wait, was it a pass interference on Washington? That wasn't really pass interference at all.
It was on a third down.
The TV executive.
It's like, hey,
the shot caller got rang.
Right.
I got
people
Oregon
are starting to buzz out of here.
I got Oregon plus 3.5. So
people are we're watching the numbers go down. Bo Nix is like, everybody was watching that football game, and even from the committee perspective, they're going, that was all set up for Oregon to get in.
No doubt.
And they're like, oh shit.
Yeah,
and the Heisman's like, oh no.
That's really when you could sense it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, that you could sense it when Texas was blowing out Oklahoma State. Really on Friday night, you could sense it when Washington was giving
the wheels
Oregon
started to turn.
Everything.
They were giving them the business.
You could see it. Dan Lanning. He was like watching every play with his hands on his knees.
Bo.
He was sprinting with Bo Nix down the sidelines. It was
all the emotions.
Yeah, it was like they're
Bo Nix tried to take the ref out.
Oh, he did the first throw.
Yeah,
he did.
Tried to pull old Paul Crew, and then the ref has like a camera on his helmet.
You can see. I think they went 9 and out on the first 3 drives, 6 and out for sure in the first 2, and he was like skipping passes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the lights got bright.
Yeah, it was tight. There was like, there's the Bo Nix I know.
Yeah,
old War Eagle Bo Nix. That's not the Bo Nix I've been seeing in first round mock drafts.
The Heisman winner.
I know he was telling his coach, Coach, we got to throw some passes behind the line.
Let's do what we did.
I got to get these yards back up.
He hit the ref right to square
You do a
the
little jet
chest.
sweep toss, coach?
Keep it going.
I mean, just trying to crack a rhythm here.
I put the hex on him. I took Bo Nix under touchdowns, under passing yards, and under rushing yards. I was like, I know this isn't going to hit.
Get it all?
I just want the voodoo out there.
Did you get it all? Oh,
No, because the rushing, he
yards.
took off and got
Damn.
like 45 on one play. Like, well, the
I was like, this
parlay's
man
done.
thinks he's Jayden Daniels?
But it did what it needed to do.
But I mean, tuning in to the championship games on Saturday. I mean, the Jayden Daniels narrative was everywhere. I mean, finally, everybody has taken the medicine.
Seen the light.
That Jayden Daniels has clearly become the best player in college football from start to finish. Even with a weekend off, which we thought would be very hard to overcome, turned out kind of working out for him.
It was best case scenario. And then the West Coast pivoted very quickly to maybe Michael Penix or Heisman.
Yeah, no, he's been done. He's been done.
It's like y'all, you put all of
It's
your
over.
chips on the Bo Nix table.
It's
and
over.
It's
Go
over.
split those votes between those two out there. Make sure Jayden Daniels gets all his ones and let him go take the most prestigious quarterback or most prestigious trophy in college football home on Saturday. He started it last week with a couple. We've seen him as a finalist for all the big-time awards, and now we'll see what happens here with the Heisman. I anticipate he wins it this weekend in New York.
For all those that said Jayden would be carrying a clipboard at Oregon, would you not like to see him play quarterback for Oregon in that game?
Oh, wow.
I mean, they probably blow Washington out.
That's what I'm
Jayden
saying. Like,
Daniels at quarterback.
And then
because the defense was fighting early. It's just the offense wasn't getting shit going.
No,
so
they
it's
couldn't.
like,
They couldn't do anything.
Mr. Leaf was on the.
He was on the Twitter fingers.
Yeah, he was like, well, now it's Michael Penix. Best. I was like, oh, you pivoted quick.
I mean, Michael Penix had the same amount of passing touchdowns as his running back. So, I mean, what are we
That's what I'm
talking
saying.
about?
They just have to have somebody else. But I watched that game more. I watched it as if I was watching an LSU game, like as much as I wanted to, because Jayden Daniels deserves to win the Heisman Trophy, and that's what you kind of had to have happen. You didn't need you had Kirk Herbstreit in the booth go on a 2-yard touchdown pass. He goes, "There's your Heisman moment for Bo Nix." It's like that.
You're right.
That's what was grasping at
and then
straws.
that was the one that looked like it hit the ground. I was like, all right, bet. Like, if that's what they're gonna
your
give him the
Heisman
Heisman
moment.
for, all right. I got 85 against Florida. But 50.
Like you said, the 6 and out, but the first drive, the first 3 plays you saw, that ain't it. That can't be your Heisman winner.
No way.
And I think he started to feel that too. Then it became, we need to win the football game.
Yep.
And that's got a little bit of a ref show. That flag came out so late.
It did.
It was like, oh wait, hold on.
Right.
Keep a minute.
This is when I'm supposed to throw it, right?
Right. This is the time. It's my time.
And also, I was watching Odunze, the receiver, just because he's in competition with Malik Neighbors, and he had 102 yards. It's just quiet though. It wasn't like Malik's.
Loud.
I've watched a couple of games with Malik and a couple of games with Marvin Harrison, a couple of games with Odunze, and Malik's 100-yard games are loud. Like, he's getting that thing and taking it and trying to hit his head on the goalpost. Those two is more like 10 yards. Might hit you for a big one. 10 yards.
Oregon just absolutely shit the bed.
I mean, they wanted to get Bo Nix the Heisman so bad.
More
than they wanted to win the game.
That's what I'm saying. They forgot what was most important.
Yeah,
which
caught
is
in the moment.
If you win, you're in the playoffs.
Because they could have ran the
and
ball.
a little bit of a mark against Dan Lanning here now that this 2023 season is wrapped up. I mean, in the big games,
Ryan Day
folded.
He's gagged a little bit. I mean, he's definitely.
I don't even know who Washington's coach is. I've never heard of that dude.
I still don't know his name.
DeBoer?
Yeah, I guess.
You could say anything.
I thought that was the offensive coordinator. I don't know.
He said
he's dialing him up.
He made a name for himself. It was a good hire. Chris
Yeah.
Peterson, the Washington officials deserve a lot of credit for. I mean, I was kind of reading a little bit about him because I'm like you. I mean, I was like, who is this guy? I mean, his team looks very prepared. They're very well coached.
Physical.
I mean, they're physical. I mean, it was
physical when they have to be.
Yeah.
Like, because you would expect
because that's the game that Oregon plays.
Right.
Right. Like that's how they really kind of put their calling card on that. And I thought Washington matched it and was very impressed with the way Washington handles it. I don't know how they perform on the big stage. I don't know what that means.
Running backs banged
up. Yeah. I mean, you still have a month.
Oh, they threw it all out there.
Oh yeah, but I mean, he was.
Michael Penix seems a little hurt.
Like in
he might be throwing with the wrong hand.
He might be.
Penix is throwing.
Him and Jalen Milroe might need to switch. Like they might need to. Do you throw left-handed? Do you throw right-handed?
Penix just lets that thing go. It's like I have no idea where this is going.
He's got some big time receivers.
Yeah, he does.
Those
No,
guys
I
are
mean
good.
those dudes are studs.
Yeah,
but
they're good.
Just
So LSU going to take on Wisconsin. Jayden Daniels becomes the front runner of the Heisman. Today in college football, buckle up. Like, it is about to be chaotic, and I can't wait for
Kyle
it.
McCord, find you a
Really,
new home,
Kyle
dog.
McCord jumped in. Walter Nolan,
Big
from
Walt.
Texas A&M.
Let's
Come
call
on
him.
home,
Jumped in
dog.
the transfer portal.
Back in the car.
I saw a defensive back, Jair Brown,
Yes, from New
from
Orleans.
Ohio State, from New Orleans.
Come on home,
Jumped
buddy.
into the transfer portal, still has 3 years of eligibility remaining. I saw a big wide receiver from Vanderbilt,
Yeah, Shepard. Will Shepard.
Will Shepard from New Orleans.
Yep.
2,000-yard wide. He's got 2,000
He's a
yards
stud.
receiving. I mean, he's a player. LSU looking for a receiver. Some of the storylines that we've seen over the past couple of years of things happening within the transfer portal is Louisiana guys being targeted by LSU. You've had some Louisiana kids over the last 24 hours put their name into the transfer portal, as well as some guys that LSU had high on their list during their recruitment. And those guys like Walter Nolan had high on his list for LSU. So we'll see what shakes out. Elijah Robinson, the defensive line coach, who I was keeping my eyes on over at Texas A&M, is a possibility of maybe being landed over here at LSU and served as the interim coach for Texas A&M when Jimbo Fisher was fired late in the season, has been hired by Syracuse. Syracuse's new head coach, Fran Brown. Fran Brown coached the DBs at Georgia, was announced as Syracuse head coach last week. He turned to Elijah Robinson to make him his defensive coordinator. So Robinson leaving College Station, which I can tell you is big news for the rest of the SEC, because Robinson is not only a fantastic on-the-field coach, he is a tremendous recruiter. And we saw as soon as that news hit yesterday that Elijah Robinson was taking the Syracuse defensive coordinator job, as soon as Gabe Relaford was wrapping up his visit in Baton Rouge, he put out a message on social media that he is decommitting from Texas A&M. So things starting to hopefully line up for LSU.
Home is where the heart is.
As far as possibilities go for these recruits. LSU does need to close. I will say this. I still feel very firm and confident on what this show was putting out last week, and the message that we were saying that LSU is going to hold with Matt House at defensive coordinator, and there will be some shakeups in the position groups on the defensive side of the ball, notably on the defensive line and in the secondary. And I could see some big names starting to emerge here pretty quick for LSU. I did have my eyes on Elijah Robinson. I would keep an eye out for Bo Davis over at Texas, the defensive line coach. Davis played at LSU. He's a guy that has been on Nick Saban's staff, both at LSU and Alabama. He also took a bullet for Saban in Alabama with some recruiting stuff that happened a couple of years ago, and went to the defensive line in the NFL, went and coached the defensive line in the NFL. After a 2-year show cause in the NFL, jumped on Steve Sarkisian's staff over at Texas and has been doing a tremendous job of recruiting the University of Texas for Sarkisian and for the Longhorns. And LSU has seen him in many living rooms over the past couple of years in recruiting as far as going head-to-head. And some people may ask, why would he move from Austin to Baton Rouge? Well, like I said, he played here, and that is something that I think LSU is throwing their hat around. I would say the same about Corey Raymond, the former LSU defensive backs coach, a guy that played here, a guy that has so long of success in coaching here. Those would be two names I would say to watch up for a shakeup in the defensive room. And like we said last week, I believe that they will hold on house, and I would keep an eye out for defensive line movement in a guy like Bo Davis, and in the defensive backfield a guy like Corey Raymond. So we'll have to wait and see. But here from some people that I've had a chance to talk to, I think those are some names to keep an eye out for.
Bo Davis feels a lot like the Brad Davis hire, if it were to go that way, where it just kind of sneakily makes sense. Why would Brad Davis leave Arkansas? He's doing a great job there. with all intents and purposes. Like, he was putting together a great offensive line at Arkansas. But then when that LSU phone rings, then he was like, yeah, I'm going home. For Bo Davis, it feels a lot of the same thing. He's from Mississippi, but Bo Davis, when you have those LSU ties, same thing with Corey Raymond. Whenever that phone call comes, it's almost like recruiting, where it just means a little bit more to wear those 3 letters, even as a coach. Like, they know what it can be here. And so when you get that phone call, like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what they're hanging on. You know what I mean? Like, that's their recruiting pitch.
Right.
You know, a guy like Brad Davis is from Baton Rouge. He grew up, you know, understanding the power of LSU and the monster that it could be if he had that behind his back as a recruiter. And he's shown it. He's proven it. So we'll see. Could be some names to watch out for. And some
Brad Davis, Bo Davis, Corey Raymond, and Frank Wilson.
Bryce Langston in the portal.
Cortez Hankton.
Like
Joe Sloan.
This is the staff that you thought, like,
if you look at the offensive side of the ball, you have dominant recruiters.
Oh,
Brad Davis is dominant at his position group. Just look at the commitments and the guys that he's brought in. Cortez Hankton is dominant as a recruiter at wide receiver. Frank Wilson's one of the best recruiters in the country. And obviously Mike Denbrock has proven that he has been a closer. He may not be a living room guy, but he's a guy that you can recruit back to. And then, of course, Joe Sloan, right, where Sloan has made LSU so relevant inside quarterback conversations over the past couple of cycles that, I mean, it almost feels kind of weird with as much as quarterbacks talking about LSU. It looks like they're going to close on Bryce Underwood here in just over a month, as Underwood's going to make his decision on January 6th. You've got Harlem Berry. You've got D.K. Moore, you know, guys in future classes. But then you look at the defensive side, and this is, you know, what we've talked about. You've got to find some guys that can win both in the living room and on the field. Guys that can close in the living room and guys that can teach it and coach it as far as X and O's are on the field. And I think that's, that's what they have to really zone in on. Remember, Daily, we're brought to you by Hughes Mechanical, Hughes Mechanical AC. Hughes Mechanical is online at hughesmechanical.net. You can get in touch with them today for residential or commercial HVAC services. They're located in Zachary, but have offices all along I-10 on South Baton Rouge, South Louisiana corridor. They have an office in Covington. They're located and headquartered here in Zachary, so you can get in touch with Hughes Mechanical for residential or commercial HVAC services. Call Travis Hughes today, 225-658-2147, 225-658-2147. Most trusted and experienced professionals as far as HVAC services go. Let them come service yours today. Find out that they are a trusted Daikin dealer. You can find them online at hughesmechanical.net, hughesmechanical.net. So hopefully some of the movement here that we've seen with decommitments and transfer portal, LSU will be able to jump aboard and get and get some good news on. Obviously, Gabe Relaford jumps to the top of the list of somebody to watch who just decommitted from Texas A&M over the weekend and has LSU obviously high on the list.
For it's everything that LSU needs to add to the portal, because you lost one in a room that you're pretty much starved for talent. Terrence Welch hits the portal, which was I don't know if it was a shocker, but it just seems like a guy that was kind of getting some reps and some playing time in a place where it's available. You see Welch hit the portal, and it should be cause for concern, I would imagine. But it feels like with the shakeup that LSU is going to be able to add some talent to that room if they're able to close or make the hires that it feels like they're going to or should. Like Corey Raymond, you allow him to do his thing. And I know people are talking about 2020 and 2021. LSU was broken. You really can't pin that on a defensive backs coach.
Do you know what the roster looked like in 2020 and 2021? Like, people they could talk all they want about what the play on the field looked like, but they don't even know what the depth looked like, what the roster looked like. LSU was barely too deep at DB in 2020 and 2021. Shit, they were barely too deep at DB in 2022 and 2023. So, I mean, these issues stem far beyond Corey Raymond.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. If you put him back in a position where he feels like he has job security, and especially under a coach like Brian Kelly, where he ain't going anywhere.
10 years.
Last stop on the Kelly
Caravan.
The Kelly Caravan. So, like, if you give him that kind of security of, like, all right, let me do my deal. Same thing with Frank. Like, let me do my deal. And now you're starting to put the pieces in line in the coaching staff that helps Brian Kelly do the things that you've wanted to see happen where, okay, recruit in state, get those guys, and now when you bring in a guy, if you bring in a Corey Raymond, if you bring in a Brad Davis, Bo Davis, like those are the guys that can help you get the talent that is visible, even if it's a 3-star, 4-star. Like Frank will bang on the table for guys that he knows can play.
Sure.
And that's what Brian Kelly needs. Like put your staff together, let them do their deal.
I mean, Bernard Causey was in town this weekend. Guys like that.
Kid's a stud.
I mean, that's who you got to get. That kid will be playing every down in 2 years at LSU.
Mm-hmm. And talking a lot of shit.
Right. I mean, in New Orleans.
Getting pass breakups.
LSU,
getting interceptions.
I mean, DBU. Get back to it. Recruiting those types of athletes. Those types of players.
And then just be Brian Kelly. Then you don't have to worry so much. You could be CEO Brian Kelly. You don't have to do everything.
Yeah.
Trust your staff. Put
you
your
don't
staff
have to be
together.
in the defensive meeting room every day.
Right. And if it feels like Matt House is coming back, this is why you would kind of put that puzzle together. Build a staff that can help you recruit if you're not into that because he's a former NFL guy. And then you just worry about the defense. Now you have the players that can play. Scheme them up.
Yeah.
Do your deal.
Some other big names that have jumped into the transfer portal over the last 24 hours. How about Ohio State quarterback Kyle McCord?
That is like so insane. I guess they told him to leave.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They must be bringing somebody in.
Aaron Nolan is like the number 1 or 2 quarterback in the country. He's coming in next year. So,
and
who's the
Texas transfer portal? Oh,
no,
going into Ohio State.
Yeah, he's a high school prospect. But I mean, I guess they're just like Kyle.
Yeah, so it's everybody.
Yeah,
it's everybody.
Scoot.
Texas A&M defensive lineman Walter Nolan entering the transfer portal.
Florida State's probably calling. You start talking about those $1 million offers. Obviously, you saw Miami with their transfer portal graphic or commitment graphic.
Yeah.
The money's out there.
Florida State probably is for sure calling because they'll lose Verse, they'll lose Fisk, they'll lose a couple of just big D linemen.
Arizona
Nasty
State
guys.
transfer defensive back Jordan Clark.
Ooh.
I'll take him too.
Ryan Clark's son
Nice little nickel.
is in the transfer portal. Arizona State right now. He visited Notre Dame, I believe, over the weekend. How about LSU running back Tre Bradford?
Week
Starter.
one,
In the
week one
portal.
and then disappeared on us, huh, Trey?
Should have scored.
Yeah, should have scored.
Texas Tech offensive tackle Monroe Mills seems to be a big name that's getting some love out there right now.
Got tackles, coach.
Notre Dame cornerback Ryan Barnes, transfer portal.
Probably a BK guy.
Is Malik Murphy in the portal?
I think people are making a run at him.
Malik Murphy. Oh,
Back up at Texas.
Arch got a little time Saturday.
I saw that.
Like, yeah, look at Arch. The crowd goes nuts. Derek Williams is so good.
So good.
He makes so many plays, and it hurts to see him in
But you get Corey back.
orange.
Jacoby Matthews is the one I'm watching for.
I know.
Just make
I mean, with
just do
Elijah
it.
Robinson leaving, new defensive coordinator in town,
I don't know about old Elko.
Jimbo out. Come on, Jacoby.
Come on,
Come on, Jacoby.
I mean, there's so much playing time.
There had to
here.
be a shakeup in the NIL deal with everybody leaving, huh?
Like Jimbo ain't here no more. We can't pay you that $800K.
Yeah, it's
all we got is $5.
It's a reset. A&M's got to kind of like you, especially with a guy like Walter Nolan hitting the portal, where you're like, okay, those are the big money guys that they clearly.
They had to dig in the collective to pay Jimbo, probably.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of money
Not at
going a
A&M.
lot of different ways at A&M, and so if you want to just Kansas City shuffle your way over to LSU, if you're Jordan
I'm
Matthews,
saying I'm not saying they took it out of the collective, but somebody out of the collective
for sure.
had to back
I mean,
out to pay Jimbo.
That was whoever cut that check.
oh, he was on the field.
Big
Yeah.
dick. Yeah, I mean,
That check
like,
was on the field.
He was the one that was like, hey, tell Stoops, fly back to Lexington. We're not doing that
Yeah.
deal.
Call Elko at Duke.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to go with Elko.
You want this check or not?
You got that, Ross?
If you get, I'm not buying out Jimbo if you
Yes,
don't get
sir.
Elko.
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Damn it.
Yes, sir.
Damn it, I wanted this.
My bad. Sorry about that.
You forgot how this works?
I mean, Jordan Matthews, too, didn't really play that much at Tennessee this year.
Is he in the portal?
No, he's not, but
Oh.
I mean,
I was about to say.
might as well come back home,
There's
be
a-
with all your
I mean, I'm
boys.
refreshing the transfer portal Twitter account all day.
Wait, there's a Twitter account for
I mean, there's at transfer portal.
Oh,
It's not verified.
the portal.
No, I got a at college FB portal verified.
Yeah, college football, college transfer portal.
In fact, they just reported that Jonathan Odom, the big tight end from Florida,
kid was a stud.
is entering the portal.
Wow. Liberty quarterback entering the portal.
Got to be a Hugh Freeze guy, huh?
And Walker Howard can't
No.
You can't portal again, right?
Walker was cooked. Bad place. I feel bad for him, kind of.
Well, I mean, he's in the same situation.
Yeah, that's why I feel bad for him, because he could have been at LSU, and
Yeah, the
LSU
same
probably
thing.
would have let him compete next
Oh,
year.
you're competing
for the job. Like
Yeah.
he wouldn't be in the situation he's in now, where he's the third string quarterback, and like, okay, Walker, just wait till.
And now he's the second string again. Like he didn't.
Right.
I don't think they anticipated. I'm sorry,
Jackson Dart.
Yeah, I don't think they anticipated.
No.
It's like a Jayden Daniels situation where it's like, oh, you're coming back. Okay, let's see what we can do. Like run it back, get yourself, because he's a good player. And year 3 and Lane Kiffin's system, they're doing something right.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you're the quarterback in that scenario where, okay, I'll come back and let's see if we can make a run at this thing. Because he can make that kind of jump to where it's like, Jay Daniels was what? Where would you have drafted him if he came out last year?
Oh, fifth round. 6th round.
Now?
7th round, maybe.
Now
he's a top 10
10
pick.
pick.
Yeah.
I think
He's
a top-
shown everything.
I think he's a top 10 pick.
Yeah. No, this is like, don't make it hard.
Right.
Don't
Like,
overthink it.
You just watched Bo Nix. You just
Well, I mean,
watched Michael
and
Penix.
I just watched NFL football.
Oh my goodness.
I just so I've seen. I see what you're looking for.
Yeah, I just watched. I
watched
Derek
Sean
Carr.
Payton yesterday when times got tough for Russell Wilson. He called quarterback run, like planned, not RPO
Draw.
Like I'm talking about, like Russell Wilson got decleated 3 times yesterday. I mean, it could be argued he was playing with a concussion in the last quarter and a half.
Well, he's got that. He's
Derek
got the bubble
Carr.
water.
I mean,
He does have
he
that
was like
bubble
running
helmet.
downhill one time. They threw a flag on target on Houston. It was a terrible call, but the only reason why they got it was because it was Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
I
He
mean-
almost killed him.
But when times got tough, Sean Payton, one of the best play callers over the last decade plus in the NFL, is looking at his offense now with a serviceable core. I mean,
Yep.
Russell Wilson is
He's great.
He's not elite, but he's good. He's solid. Calling quarterback run. I mean, I told Jay, if that's what they're calling, if that's what Sean Payton's calling, Jayden Daniels is a top 10 pick.
Yeah.
And not only is he a top 10 pick, he's a starter in 2 years.
This mock draft has from 10 to the Tampa Bay Bucks.
I mean,
And if you're looking at the Sean Payton offense, the last 2 games, Russell Wilson against Cleveland, 11 carries. Russell Wilson against Houston, 10 carries. He's like, if you're not the old Russell.
right.
You're gonna
have to run.
tilt
I'm
that
tired
rock,
of this.
son.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Hut one.
4th and 2 yesterday. He calls quarterback draw.
Go get some.
Go get you some,
On the
Russ.
15.
And he's
Like on the Texans 15.
and he's like telling him in the headset, all right, you got to
They
get.
show a shot of Peyton after he gets it. He's smiling. Mm-hmm. Losing. Smiling.
Just got his ass
Clock
hit.
ticking.
He's
Wait,
hurt.
that's special.
We're one
Russ.
step closer to Caleb Williams,
Yeah.
boys.
breaking him. Break him.
Get going, Russell. Don't you slide either.
But it's, I mean, like Jayden Daniels, he fits the mold, man. He's what they're looking for now. I mean, 5-6 years ago, 10 years ago, you had to sell Jayden Daniels. You had to, his
Project.
skill set
I mean, you
didn't
had to
really
go to
translate.
You had to
There
go
wasn't
fight for dudes like him.
Hell
I mean,
yeah.
look at Lamar. Look how they did Lamar's coming
I mean,
out. They're like, oh,
Napoleon's dad wanted to make him
he's
a
a running
wide
back.
receiver.
He's a running back.
I
A
just don't
DB.
see it.
I can't see it. He can't throw the football.
I'd love to see his opinion on Jayden Daniels.
Oh my God. He probably thinks he's a running back.
That's
For
the last
sure.
time I heard from Napoleon. That was his last take. Put him in the grave.
Bill,
Yeah. Lamar. Mm-mm.
All right, Bill.
Unanimous MVP.
great wide receiver. Oh, yeah, he's playing quarterback better than anybody on the planet, Bill. What you got for that?
Scoot on to that golf course, why don't you, Bill?
They're not all Peyton Manning, Bill.
Shoot.
I just
That was
wanted
easy
to,
when you could have Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck.
I just wanted a spot quarterback.
They'd really have to think too hard about that.
But I mean, Jayden Daniels is what they're looking for.
It's the new NFL. Even you can look at like C.J. Stroud can run, but they don't really ask him to do
No.
that. He showed that against Georgia.
Yeah.
And that was his coming out party. It's like, oh, he can kind of do everything.
C.J. Stroud.
Yeah.
Coach, he's leading the league right now.
Lost his guy, though. Lost
know.
Tank. That was big.
That was big.
And he was lead blocking. Man's 5'9", 169 pounds.
He
lead
caught in
blocking.
the wash.
Like,
And then I didn't understand, like, he broke his tibia.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like they're bringing him off on the cart and they're like holding it. They don't even have him in a soft cast. Like people in the stadium are like,
Can we
the air
get
cast
Can we
on
get
him.
an air cast?
does he have a broken leg? You know, and they're like, well, yeah, absolutely. And they're like, well, the guy's just, what is this, 7th and 8th grade football?
Be
I mean,
careful,
the guy's
he's a hero.
holding it.
That's Spider-Man meme. Be careful.
It was nuts. I mean, like,
He's just a kid.
in the stadium was like, Tank Dell broke his leg.
He broke his leg. His leg's broken.
Stabilize that.
And Tank Dell is hurt.
So yesterday we went to the Houston Texans game. Compliments of Derek Stingley and his family, Derek Stingley Jr. and his family, Coach Stingley. And
you might be going back.
That's what he told us in the third quarter. It's like, y'all are coming back to every game. Y'all are lucky charms. In the fourth quarter. And it was an incredible experience. We drove into Houston Saturday afternoon, got there about 4 o'clock, watched the championship games, got a good bite to eat, woke up yesterday morning, headed over to the Texans Stadium, got there at about 11 o'clock, bought Lil Jay a Stingley jersey, made our way up to the suite, met Bun B from UGK. They serve Trill burgers.
I was about to say,
inside.
did you try the Trill burger?
Yes,
Was
I
it
tried
good?
the Trill burger. It's incredible.
Okay.
They drop off like cases of them to eat sweet. We were walking around looking for. I was like, I want to find Bun. I was like, I'm not really starstruck. You know what I mean? I was like, but we're not leaving here until I get a picture with Bun B. And as we're walking the suite corridor, it's Kelly and I. We're walking the suite corridor. We smell this big puff of marijuana. I mean, like out of nowhere.
That's Bun B.
Out of nowhere. I mean, the place smells like a hospital. I mean, it smells like
Reliant Stadium.
I mean, like it's like everything is like you could eat off the floor where we are. You know what I mean? Like it was just like plush. And then out of nowhere just comes this huge whiff of like high quality weed. You know what I mean?
It's the good stuff.
We're at the right spot.
Kelly, this is the good stuff.
And as we are staying, there's like this guy who looks like a security guard standing outside of the suite. I'm like, are you Bun B security guard? He's like, he wanted to say yes, but he couldn't tell me yes.
Answer.
And as soon as he looked up, I'm like, are you Bun B security guard? He was like, well, look, there's Bun B right there. And I turned around. And he is standing there blazed.
Hell yeah.
I mean, like,
I'm high right now.
Eyes faded.
I need me a Trill burger.
Trill burger hat on. Texans overcoat. I'm like, Bun B, you mind, bro? Can we get a picture real quick? And he like looks at me, you know, and he looks at Kelly, and he's like, for sure.
Yeah.
You know, like,
duh.
Appreciate it.
You gonna take it?
Yeah, right.
Take the picture.
So we slide in and get a picture, and then as we walk back in, Stingley gets his first interception of the day. And it's a
Bun B?
It's a little Bun B love, and then so it comes off of a Will Anderson tip pass, which Will Anderson played his best game as a pro yesterday. Stingley gets his first pick. If Stingley keeps his feet right there,
he's a 6.
It's pick 6.
It's
pick 6, but he tries to. He has to adjust to the tip. His kind of legs kind of come out from under him. He hits the ground. He gets tapped right there, so he's down. So everybody's good. You know, like it's worth the price of admission.
Got the interception.
We've met Bun B.
Jay has the jersey.
We got the jersey. Sting gets the pick. Texans are in command. It's like, this is a beautiful day. A couple of minutes go by, and can you bring this play up, please? You can find it on anywhere. You can find it on NFL.com. You can find it on Houston Texans, LSU football,
on his Instagram.
Stingley. You can find it everywhere. I think this is the best play I've ever seen Stingley make. It's definitely his best play as a pro. That's coming from his dad, who was sitting right next to us yesterday with his agent. And
a little cover 3, little fall off the out route.
It's as if he baits him.
He did.
To throw it, and then he makes a play on the ball that he looks like he's at Dunham. I mean, he closes on the football, leaps, and makes an over-the-shoulder catch and falls so gracefully that, I mean, it was one of the smoothest, finest highlights I mean, that I have seen, man. And you could see it coming. We're sitting in the suite, and Wilson's eyeing him, and it's like he's looking across the middle, and you're like, he's going at him.
Yep.
He's going at him. And, I mean, he comes across, and then look, right here when he gets up, I don't know if they show it, he's running at us.
Hell yeah.
He's running at us, and like everybody is going buck. And I mean, like his old man is coming over the balcony.
Damn.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I had like almost like had tears in my eyes standing there with my son watching this dad like just go
crazy,
like an out of body experience.
Yeah, I would too.
I told Kelly, I was like, this is exactly how I would act.
Yeah.
I mean, like, this is I mean, I was almost acting like that, and he wasn't my kid. You know what I mean? But like, just the moment, it was incredible, man, to be in there. And I will say that the Texans love him. Like the hometown, like the Houston Texans people absolutely love Stingley. And to be there for his for what, people that have seen him play every game, what they called like his best game as a pro, because he had the 2 picks, he had 2 tackles, and then he had 2 pass deflect. I mean, the first play of the game, I'm serious, we hadn't even sat down yet. We're all kind of like, people are walking in the suite. They snap the ball, and like Sting Sr.'s like, oh, they going at him. And Wilson throws a bomb, and Stingley has to like cover ground and knock it down. And it was kind of like, okay, it's gonna be one of them days. Like they gonna test him a little bit. Today. And his agent was sitting right next to us, and his agent actually represents Marvin Mims as well. Mims was the speedy receiver for the Broncos. He actually was the punt and kick returner yesterday for the Broncos. And Stingley and Mims got matched up on a one-on-one where Wilson threw it into the end zone, and Stingley played real physical, went up, batted the ball down. I mean, it was just cool to be in the in that environment, seeing that.
Terrible time for me to bet Cortland Sutton anytime touchdown.
Why would you do that?
Because he's been cooking with Russ lately.
They go at him.
Yeah,
I mean, like he is their guy, man. He is their guy. It was a great game.
Who's the other cornerback?
I don't know, but he's a player. 21.
Because I know they got the safety.
You could feel it leaving the Texans stadium yesterday. Like, it's a cool time to be a Texans fan.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, you could feel like people are like running, jumping around. I mean, like
7-5, coach.
A lot of JJ Watt jerseys. You know,
Yeah.
Like, get us out of here. Get us out of this purgatory. I mean, like, I was standing next to this guy. It was like, it just feels like we're on a crash course for that Saturday wild card game. And I'm like, dude,
take it,
do it. You know what I mean? I was like, with this team, man. I mean, you got the quarterback. Y'all have hit on the last 2 drafts.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Stingley's obviously a baller. Will Anderson's a player. C.J. Stroud's a dog. Nico Collins is a dog.
Yeah.
I mean, I forgot Christian Harris plays for him.
Yep, stud.
It was fun, man. It was cool.
But that's why you talk about don't overthink it. Like Stingley, 3rd overall pick. I mean,
don't overthink it.
He's healthy.
Had some injury issues early, but
when he
looked
like
healthy.
When he looks like that,
he looked healthy.
It's like, okay, that's why you took him 3rd.
And he came out in the pregame with the 10 advisor on, and he changed it in between pregame and game to the
can't
clear.
Catch that fine,
got
coach.
the call. You got the call. Hey, Derek, we're gonna have to take you out the game if you don't.
Got a couple of extra guests in the suites today. It was like, change the visor.
Yeah. We got a couple. We had to pay for those tickets.
Right. But it was a great weekend. It was cool to be a part of this. Cool to get to see the energy of the Texans and see the love for Sting. I mean, his jersey is everywhere.
Well, it feels a lot like the Saints.
It
like
does.
The 2006 run up where you're like, okay, we have a quarterback, and you start seeing like the wheels turn. Feels like you have a good head coach, like a young D'Amico Ryans his head coach. Defense is awesome, and that's their calling card. Then you hit on C.J. Stroud, and this is how the whole thing happens. You're watching a franchise become a franchise.
I am also, yes, you're right. I mean, like you can feel it.
Feel it.
I mean, like it's the early days of something that could be special with Stroud, with this young defense, this young head coach, the energy. It was a great game day atmosphere. NRG Stadium, where we were yesterday.
Formerly
Bun B,
Reliant.
Blazing in there, cuz. I mean, like.
Energy was high.
Blazing.
I mean, Bun B is Houston, so
absolutely.
They ain't gonna kick him out of there.
No way.
Got a cake pan, but no cake, man.
It was.
I mean, I'm giving out trill burgers around here.
Paul Wall was in there.
Paul Wall, baby. Why didn't you get a picture of Paul Wall?
Well, I mean, he was behind the cloud.
Oh,
I was like, look, Kel, I'm not staking these guys. I'm not stalking.
Yeah.
Can I hit that?
You know what I mean? Like, I came, I saw, we met Bun B. Let's get back to the suite. Let's go. I mean, and I'm telling you.
Let me see you grill.
As soon as we get in, Stingley catches the tip interception. Place is going wild. And then the second interception, I thought Sting Sr. was literally going to jump from the 3rd balcony onto the field. But look, let me tell you this. Sting Sr., I don't know if I've told you this story. Like the first time I ever saw this, he can still pull this off. Sting Sr., the first time I ever saw this, we did a Dunham football game when Stingley Jr. was a junior in high school. And Sting Sr. would hit this whistle. Like real quick, but he can do it like, I mean, it's piercing if you're next to him.
Stingley's ears go up.
Echoes throughout any arena that he's been in. And they were playing East Feliciana the night I saw him do it for the first time. and Stingley's playing opposite corner, and his dad's on the top of the press box, headset on, and he hits one of the and Stingley is like in the middle of like lined up and like looks over at him, and he like gives him some like deal, and like Stingley's like locks back in. Texas game, LSU, Texas game, DK Royal Stadium, pregame. They got him sitting up with the band where they got Burrow's dad up in the player section, way up. Same thing. Stingley and everybody's down there warming up before the game. Stingley's head like finds him because he's got like his hand up. Finds him. He gives him some, like some type of deal. He like kind of hits him back with a sign. And so like yesterday I'm telling the story to Lil Jay and Kelly as we're walking in. I'm like, it's the craziest thing. He's got this piercing whistle, and like Stingley, no matter where he has been, can hear it, and he'll check him like wherever he is, and he'll find him. And not 2 minutes we're in there, and we get there early. It was about 11:15, 11:30, but people are, it's an NFL game, man.
Yeah, people are filing in.
There are people all over the place. Huge arena. We're sitting on like an opposite side suite. Texans are on the other end of the field warming up. And I say to him, I'm like, Sting Senior, can you still grab his attention with the whistle? He was like, looked at me like, you chump.
Yeah. You think
bum. You coming up in here asking some stupid ass questions like that? And looks out, and Stingley kind of gives him the like, I got you, man. And we're all like laughing up in the suite. But it is kind of like cool to see how he's able to like, just kind of like get his attention real quick.
So now we know what happened to LSU Alabama 2019.
Yeah, that's that was cool. Made a comment to you right there. You must have whistled to him when he was guarding Devonta Smith in 2019. But it was a great experience. Appreciate the Stingleys for it. Yep, Dylan Gabriel, Oklahoma quarterback, planning to enter the transfer portal.
Wow.
That could be one that LSU pays attention to.
Free agency.
It is free agency. Like this man.
How old is Dylan Gabriel?
He is
sophomore. Huh?
No, he is old. Coach. He's been in college. He had a couple injuries.
Yeah, Central Florida.
Yeah, Central Florida had an injury there. Came to Oklahoma. Got hurt at Oklahoma.
Okay, so you got me on a red shirt, a medical red shirt.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's.
And pour one out for transfer portal GOAT JT Daniels has retired.
Thank you.
Yeah, finally.
What a run.
What a run.
J.O.B. That's the word of the day, JT. J.O.B.
Get you a job.
Get you a job.
Be a coach. You've been around it a long time.
Yeah.
So LSU names in the portal as of now: Bryce Langston, Tre Bradford,
Laterrance
Welch.
That's the biggest one.
Yeah, Welch is the biggest one.
Bryce
Langston.
Big one. Talk to Ed. He'll let you know.
Has he played?
He's going to commit to Roebuck University.
No, he has not played. I think he might have played. I don't think he even played against like Army and Georgia State. He's a stud though.
He'll play.
I am also following Hayes Fawcett for all of my transfer portal news. Fawcett does an incredible job of breaking that. In fact, we've got another one. Ohio State. Wow, man, they are fleeing Ohio State.
See ya.
Right now. This is the third defensive back that they have lost. Their quarterback put his name into the portal. We mentioned that Ja'Ari Brown from New Orleans has 3 years of eligibility remaining, 6 foot 185 corner. Played 10 games as a freshman at Ohio State.
Didn't get a lot of playing time this year.
Put his name into the portal.
Defense was salty this year.
Kyle Stokes, the latest Ohio State safety, 6'1", 195, 3 years of eligibility remaining, ranked as a 4-star recruit in the class of 2022. He's entering the transfer portal. Something's going on at Ohio State.
Mm-hmm. Tired of losing to Michigan, man.
Tired of
losing to Michigan.
Ryan Day, the building is collapsing in on you, and you've lost 7 games in your tenure.
Will Shepard, Vanderbilt wide receiver, entering the portal. Former Mandeville wide receiver has totaled over 2,000 yards and 21 touchdowns in his 3 years at Vandy. Finished top 5 in the SEC in touchdowns and yards last year. Has 1 year of eligibility remaining. This could be a name to keep an eye out for LSU. LSU's looking for a wide receiver. It's a hometown guy. Played in the SEC. Proven top 5 SEC in touchdowns and yards last year, heads up for LSU on a name like Will Shepherd. Portal season, baby.
Portal season's insane.
Oh, it's about to get wild. They're about to start throwing some money around.
That's what it is. I mean, you almost.
It's highest bidder. It's free agency.
That's why Dylan Gabriel's in the portal. Like he said, he's doing fine at Oklahoma.
Why not?
Why not? Let's see what's out there.
No, I agree.
USC's going to come calling.
I saw where USC set up a meeting with Will Howard, Kansas State quarterback.
You gotta put the fillers out there. How much do you want?
What are you asking?
Number?
What's your number?
If I'm a power
Who's
five,
got the highest bidding power? Would it be Gabriel? That's in the portal.
Dante Moore, probably.
Dante Moore.
Ward.
He's no good.
Cam Ward.
Oh yeah,
Cam Ward.
That's the one who has
from
the
Washington
highest.
State.
Yeah, I would say him, and then the Will. What's his name?
Will Howard.
Will Howard. Yeah, he's probably second because he's the oldest one in those. Because he was the number 1 transfer quarterback currently.
Cam Ward?
No, Will Howard is.
Yeah. Was.
Yeah.
Because I'm with you. I would take Cam Ward.
Yeah.
He's the one.
To me, that's Jayden Daniels.
Back up the G truck.
Yeah.
Get him. Because that's what you're looking for. You know, I think when you come down to the Nussmeier Daniels discussion, I believe it goes into what's the toughest for defenses to defend. And if we saw it over the weekend, Kirby Smart, tough time defending Jalen Milroe. We've seen it time and time again with Nick Saban, tough time defending dual threat quarterbacks, dating back from LSU standpoint back to Jordan Jefferson, all the way through Jayden Daniels. Those are the quarterbacks in style that give the top defensive minds, coordinators, play callers on that side of the ball the most trouble, the most confusion. And if you are, and this is no knock on anybody, but if you are a one-trick pony, if you are a one-threat quarterback, it's proven that it's easier to defend. Can you still win games and can you still absolutely. All that can still be done. But it's proven that, you know, the best in the game struggle with the dual threat guys the most. And I think that's...
You saw Jalen Milroe just win an SEC championship going 12 of 24.
What did Shea say the stat was? Throw for 3,000, rush for 1,000 is becoming the new benchmark you're looking for. If you can find a quarterback that can throw for 3,000, rush for 1,000, that's ideal. Those don't grow on trees. I mean, obviously, but and look, it doesn't have to be 1,500 rushing and 3,800 passing. I mean, you know, flirting with those numbers, 2,500 passing, 900, 800, 750 rushing. You know, things that you can look at and say that's the skill set, that's the talent, that's what causes the most headache for defensive coordinators. So I think they are in the portal for a quarterback, and I don't believe they're in the portal for a quarterback because they don't believe that they can't win with Nussmeier. I think they want to just secure themselves with a different sets of skill, and you can never have enough depth at that spot, quite frankly. So.
Yeah, it's not an indictment on us. It's just a look. If we can make the room better, make the room better.
Right. And I believe.
I don't think they're like in the Cam Ward sweepstakes of like I'm trying to go get a bona fide starter.
No, I don't.
I think it's something in between of, okay, let's get a guy that's played some college football that can help you if you need him to. Because I feel like Nussmeier is
trusted depth.
Yes, Nussmeier is. Well, I mean, there's always competition, but it feels like it's his time. You're not from what you've seen from a limited sample. You could say he could play football in this league. He could be your starting quarterback.
For sure.
There's some deficencies, sure, but that's
doubt.
also some of his strength. And he doesn't have that. I don't know how much he can run. We haven't really seen it, but it's not obviously there's not a lot of Jayden Daniels out there. But you're going to start winning those. It's going to be thrower first, and it's going to be a lot of get the ball to your playmakers. What you saw Jayden Daniels do this year, that's where a lot of people were clamoring for Nuss before the year started, because he would let that thing go. And then Jayden Daniels just blended both of them together and became this perfect scenario.
Right. Daily, we're brought to you by Go Roof. Remember, online, Go Roof at GEAUXroof.com. You get a 2-year free workmanship guarantee with all new roof installations. Roofing contractors in Baton Rouge. You can find competitive pricing, free quotes, and free roof inspections from our friends. Dial them up at 225-927-8300, 225-927-8300, or online at GEAUXroof.com. A beautiful roof every single time. You can choose them for residential roofing, commercial roofing, or roofing repairs. Find them online at GEAUXroof.com. Go Roof, 225-927-8300, 225-927-8300. Find them today. Tell them you heard it right here on the Culotta Show. And remember, store that into your contacts list. We had some rain going into the weekend. If you experience any leaks, Go Roof will jump up on the roof. Saw Tommy this weekend as we were heading out to Houston and talked about with the rain in town to make sure and let people know. They'll jump up on the roof and help you out today. They work directly with the insurance company, so they'll take that headache out of the game for you. Online, GEAUXroof.com. We'll be back. More of the show. We'll open up the phone lines if you have reaction. Tons to get to. Transfer portal, tons to react to. Transfer portal, coaching, bowl games. Obviously, you see the Final Four, what's going on with the playoff. Saints are a disaster. As Detroit yesterday took care of business. Derek Carr booed off the field.
Concussed?
For the New Orleans Saints.
Mom's first
a lot of
Saints game.
secondary ticket selling in the Saints. I mean, that thing looked like a Lions home game on television.
Saints tend to let you know.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the beautiful part about the city. I mean, you know, they're going to hold you accountable. And right now, the Saints
are dead.
Do not feel accountable to anyone. And I think they're getting away with really robbery over there. To Miss Gale and the crew. I don't know. It doesn't feel right. Yeah. We'll be back. More of the show after this.
Somebody find number 4 from Ireland.
I took a break for a minute. I had to go charge up. Had to focus on my business. I'm coming back smarter. Hit up DJ, tell him go like I'm driving.
Again, this year, we're giving away bikes all across the state of Louisiana. In fact, this year is a record number. We're giving away 488 bikes. Go to GordonGives.com for more information and details. And look, it's not just me. It's everybody at our company across the state of Louisiana. At Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys, we're all participating in this process, and we're so excited to be giving away a little cheer, Christmas spirit, and everything else this time of year. So God bless. Go to GordonGives.com for more details. Merry Christmas, Louisiana.
Okay, Gordon, ready to talk a little bit about yourself today? Okay, good. Tell us, who is Gordon McKernan?
Great question. In a lot of ways, I'm just like most people. I'm a husband. I'm a father. I'm a son. I am a brother. I'm a Christian. I am a Tigers fan. I am a Louisiana sportsman. But above all, I am grateful to the people of Louisiana. We want to be your lawyers for life. Hi, I'm Gordon McKernan. Everyone has a special Christmas memory. One of mine is when I woke up on Christmas morning, ran down the stairs, and there it was, a brand new red bicycle.
That is why this Christmas, Gordon McKernan is giving away over 425 bicycles throughout the state of Louisiana.
To register, please fill out a form online at GordonGives.com or GetGordon.com. And make sure to visit the Get Gordon Facebook page for additional details and chances to win. From all of us here at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys, Merry Christmas and God bless.
Offensive player of the game from LSU, Joe Burrow.
Football is life. Football is Joe Burrow.
Let's be special. Let's be strong. Let's spell greatness from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
If you're in the market for a mortgage lender, you need to start with Doug Bickley and his team. Bickley has built a crew with over 50 years of combined lending experience. They've been in business for over 20 years, and they love helping their clients achieve the American dream of home ownership. They're also key with working in real estate agents and helping their clients getting same-day pre-approval. They average about one buyer a day getting them in a home. If you want to get in touch with Doug and his crew, it's easy. Call them 225-214-5154. 225-214-5154. Go see the Bickley team today. They're located on the corner of Coursey Boulevard and Sherwood Forest right here in Baton Rouge.
What's up?
What's happening?
Chilling with a couple of cool guys. You?
Chilling and watching some tube. Hold on. Did you do it? Hold on. Did you do it?
Roof's up.
Hold on.
Roof's up.
Roof's up!
Roof's up.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
Beautiful roof every single time.
True. True.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Head health is incredibly important for our student athletes. One of the best ways we're trying to address concussions is on the front end. We're trying to prevent these before they happen. And a big part of that is speaking to the athletes, letting them know what to expect. Okay, speaking to the parents, what to look out for, talking to the coaches so they know the vital importance. Some of the big things we're looking for with a concussion, which is, a traumatic brain injury, is one, was there a mechanism? Was there an injury that took place that could lead to this? Often a direct blow to the head, a head-to-head hit. If someone's showing signs of concussion, our first step is always to remove them from activity, get them to a place where there's less stimuli, where we can really just sit down and get a feel for the athlete, what they're feeling. We're looking for headache, we're looking for dizziness, any sign that coordination is off, that something's just not right. Get a good evaluation of them to understand what's going on. It's not worth the risk that may be there to kind of ignore it, because there are very serious consequences if we don't treat a concussion properly.
Don't let concerns about shifts in the market disrupt your long-term financial goals. Edward Jones financial advisor Daniel Newman can help. He'll work with you on an investment strategy for long-term results. Edward Jones can give you the tools and knowledge for a steady approach to hitting your financial targets. Get started today by calling Daniel Newman at 225-261-8262. 225-261-8262. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Click Here Digital, the home of the Jordy Culotta Show. Online at clickheredigital.com. If you're looking to set Google ads, set social media campaigns, learn about SEO, display video, or even creative, Click Here Digital has the answer for you. Online at clickheredigital.com or email me directly, Jordy at clickheredigital.com.
Let's be special. Let's be strong. Let's spell greatness from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, in the Carter, coming back like KD, it's time to go harder. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing.
All right, welcome back here. Jordy Culotta Show, as always, built by our friends over at R&B. Check them out online at rb-builders.com. Red Bourgeois and the crew can build you a custom design home to help you refurbish or reconstruct the one that you're living in now. You need an addition. You see some handiwork done. Call Red Bourgeois. Or find them online. rb-builders.com. On Instagram at rb-builders.com as well. All right, phone lines are open. 707-400-5575. Not reacting to anything you saw on the field. Just a lot of news.
There we go.
That is happening throughout college football, whether it's the Final Four, whether it's the coaching, whether it is LSU heading to Wisconsin, whatever is on your mind, we will speak of here. You know the rules. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Just give us a name and what part of the country you're calling from or world, and you will. The floor is yours. So let's go to the phone lines. First up this morning, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, this is Peter. I'm calling from Houston.
What you got, Pete?
Okay, I wanted to find out what's going on with Colin Hurley. Have y'all heard any more about it? The young man supposed to be coming from Jacksonville.
Yeah, true freshman quarterback who is just finishing up his senior season and should be here mid-semester.
Yeah, he'll be early enrollee.
Yeah, he's an early enrollee, so he'll be
here in
on the
January.
fast track. I mean, he's 16 years old and graduating high school.
Yeah, he's graduating early, so we'll see. I mean, he'll be in that competition next year. I wouldn't expect him in year one to have a real shot at competing for the starting job. First thing, like Lloyd said, he's very young, and we've seen it with Ricky Collins as a true freshman. I mean, it takes time to catch on.
There'll be some growing pains.
Right, he's gonna have, and you've got experience with Nussmeier.
Okay, and is there any more news on the young man from Michigan?
Bryce Underwood will commit on January 6th. All of the experts, Pete, say that he's going to LSU. I mean, a lot of people have trended and put in predictions, and
there's even an official crystal ball on 1-3 that says him going, or their RPM, like their pick. However you want to slice it, prediction meter has. They finally put one in for
LSU.
Bryce to LSU,
and the Michigan people did this.
Yeah,
right. It's not even Shea Dixon or Billy Embody.
Yeah, it feels like LSU is starting to be the school that everybody anticipates him to choose.
And of course, the most important thing: what are they going to do with Matt House?
It's a good question. Pete, I appreciate the call. And thank you for listening over in Houston. I think, as we said, I think right now, at least 2 recruits I know, House and 2 players, House is expecting to come back. So I don't know. I mean, I would anticipate that he would possibly be back. But it's the coaching world. Nothing would surprise me. All right, back to the phone lines we go. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
101.
What's up, Jordy? It's Wade, baby, out in Houston from Ruston, baby.
Wade, what's up, man? I was in your town all weekend. It's good to be a Texans fan right now.
Jordy, I live 5 minutes from NRG, baby. Why you holler at your boy?
I didn't know, man. My fault. It's good to be a Texans fan right now.
Hey, Jordan. Hey, Ruston Bearcat versus Zachary for the Dome, baby. Who you got? Who you with?
I'm gonna go with South Louisiana just because I'm loyal to my guy Brewerton.
Jordan, let me ask you a question. Man, Zachary, how did they let them postpone the game down by 14 points to get the momentum back and win?
What happened?
Answer that question for the
I have no idea. I saw that on social media.
It was like,
what happened?
Friday night was like, it was weird weather in Baton Rouge. Like, it was.
Zachary was getting whipped.
It was raining sideways.
I saw that.
And they got him to call the game.
They postponed it.
Postponed it till 3 p.m. the next day. And,
yes.
And, I mean, Zachary just comes out and scores 14 straight. They get a pick 6 off a bounce ball.
I saw it.
And then.
Yes.
The kicker actually missed the original kick in the 4th quarter in regulation. They blocked it, and then he makes it in overtime. And after the game, they interviewed him. He's all emotional, like crying, like
thank God.
Like, I didn't want to. He literally said, "Thank God." Like, I didn't want to send the seniors out like this. Like, I would have felt so bad if their season would end on my missed kick.
Jordy, Ruston ended Zachary's season last year in the semifinals. We knocked Eli Holstein out the game. Guess what? You can't postpone the game in the Dome, baby. We got something for you Saturday night. Anyway, Jordy, let's talk about Dennis Allen real quick, right? Has anybody seen the viral video? And you guys can look it up on YouTube. They had the little music playing. Now, that's a bad They showed Dennis Allen and the Saints coaches walking in the Dome, He got a latte, and man, he was twisting like he was. Oh my goodness! I said, oh my goodness,
a dead man
That's
walking.
All you know about the Saints. Hey, he had a mean walk, man. I'm just saying like that. But anyway, Jordy, hey, Jayden Daniels, man, we owe you an apology. Well, I ain't old now. I've been with him the whole time. But other than that, man, y'all have a great show. Let's go back at.
Wade, appreciate you listening over in Houston, bro.
Always.
Bringing that energy, man.
How you gonna let him postpone the game?
Seriously though, I mean,
but the weather was, Coach. It was raining sideways.
So the game was at Zachary.
It was at Zachary
on Friday night.
Okay. But I think like all the games got backed up because I think was it Catholic was playing Rummel in Baton Rouge, so I think their game got postponed too. So it was just a weather thing because it was
be down 2 scores and get an extra day to study. Would be, that's like somebody pulling the fire alarm on finals day.
I mean, like if you're Dutchtown, that is
they are hurting right now.
That's the worst case. Like you're doing what?
And I think that was their
no.
first.
Y'all gotta go home and come back. Like no.
Back it up. We're about to finish this thing.
Absolutely not.
About to kneel this thing out.
No
it's a
way.
turf field. Zachary plays on turf.
What was it? It must have been lightning, huh?
I guess. I mean, it was. But I mean. Like, the weather wasn't bad enough, I don't think.
I mean, Coach, it's high school football. We've played in some environments where you're going.
For a
I think we're going to die.
Yeah, it's like, you could die out here. Fine.
If tonight's the night, I'm good with it.
I'm going to drown.
I'm going to die with my brothers on this field.
Oh,
tomorrow.
No.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, but when I was reading on social media that they had resumed the game the next day, I'm like,
what?
That's wild.
Yeah,
what?
I mean.
All right, back to the phone lines we go. 707-400-5575. Have a take, don't suck. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, this is Sean from Detroit. What's happening, Jordy, Lloyd, and Stu?
Some of them skis.
What's up, dog?
Well, you know, man, I heard from everybody. You know, I live in Detroit for the last 30 years, so I heard from everybody, even my enemies, after what the Lions did to my Saints. And all my conclusion is this, man. We need to take the Jayden Daniels. I know what y'all said last week. I don't want to admit it with the Saints. But we need to tank. Don't win a game. We're not going to do nothing in the playoffs. If we made the playoffs, we need to tank for Jayden Daniels. That's off rip. And like I said, man, this is ridiculous. The Saints are horrible. Jameis Winston got in, and the play that showed that we need to get Jayden Daniels. When they showed a bunch of green grass in that 4th down play, he could have ran and got it, and we could have made it a game. And this bastard threw a stupid pass. But regardless, we need to take for Jayden Daniels, and that's what I'm saying. Have a good one. That's my take. I hope I didn't suck.
Sean, great call. Great to hear from you up in Detroit, man.
Yeah. Like, I understand.
They hurting in they hurting
who that
in
Bill
right
is,
now.
the brown bags are back.
They're hurting in
Damn,
New
I gotta
Orleans
call
right
my
now.
mom and see how her experience was, because like I didn't talk to her after the game, but she was like live before the game, showing all the pregame stuff. I was like, Mom, you look like you're enjoying yourself. She doesn't know much about football, so her take is gonna be great to hear how.
Call in?
Like, I want to know what they said about Derek Carr.
I mean,
it's
bro, they boot him off the field.
Yeah. Oh, they boot him on the field.
They pretty much boot him off the field.
That was some old like Jordan Jefferson stuff.
Yes,
like that's the last time I've seen that.
No, like those are some Saints days that people don't speak of anymore. And you
Aaron
can
Brooks.
feel them. You can feel them starting to kind of creep back around because people are starting to lose faith, trust, interest in the product because it feels like it's from the top down.
Yeah.
Right? Like the Saints to me, like, and I say this with all due respect, and I am, I pull for the Saints, obviously, and was as big of a bandwagon fan as anybody that existed from 2006 until 2020. But in the state that the Saints are in right now, I hope they do not draft Jayden Daniels.
Yeah.
Because they feel like an organization and a franchise that is an absolute mess as far as the leadership is concerned. And I don't know how you work yourself out of where they are just from a management standpoint, because if you're paying attention, Gayle Benson doesn't really have the authority, it feels, or at least at the very minimum, the presence to make informed decisions about the day-to-day operation as an owner, right? I mean, she lives in Kentucky on a horse farm. She flies in on the weekends for home games to wave to the crowd, sit in the suite, talk to Loomis, make it look like business is being conducted. But all in all, I mean, like, there's no real decision-making that's being put on the table or, real evaluations being made about what's happening on the field with Gail, the owner, right? I mean, like, we can all agree on that, right? And for what Mickey Loomis, his responsibility has ultimately always been as the executive vice president and general manager was really just he was to put the numbers, the contracts, make the numbers crunch, right? I mean,
it's not making personnel decisions.
For as long as the Saints have kicked the can, right, and have been the poster child, the example of either cheating the salary cap or just delaying the salary cap, right? Like, I mean, at some point it was going to get you, or they just kind of kept working magic. Loomis was the guy that was kind of making that all work, right? He wasn't the guy that was evaluating talent, choosing the players, making sure that they had enough depth on the roster at certain positions to compete into the season. Whether that has been Jeff Ireland or whether that has been even a combination of Sean Payton and other people, it's never really fell on Loomis's desk. And that's where I have really lost trust in Dennis Lauscha, Mickey Loomis, the executive committee of the New Orleans Saints, who have been around for decades now. Greg Benzel is media guy who's just been there for so long. And while, look, I think that continuity and consistency is key in a lot of areas, you could also argue that it causes people to get stale and complacency set in. And for whatever reason, you've seen the portfolio of the Bensons grow over the last couple of years, really, since the Saints have become this mega player in the NFL, right? Late in Tom Benson's careers, through the success of Sean Payton and Drew Brees, and in the transfer of ownership into Gale and this structure of Lauscha, Loomis, Benzel, and crew, right? Where the portfolio has expanded. Real estate, automotive, horse racing, NBA.
Land.
You understand, like, the Saints have become not priority number one. So when you see another home game where the opponents, the road team, has just about as many fans, if not more, than New Orleans brings into the Dome, that should be the loudest message that anyone could send up to management that exists. I know that the Chicago Bear game was dominated by Bear fans a couple of weeks ago. Yesterday, the Detroit, the chants for the Lions was overtaking through the TV. I mean, the entire lower bowl, the entire lower bowl was royal blue and silver. I mean, if management doesn't get the message, if they don't understand what's going on, then they're not paying attention. And I really think that they're not paying attention. I think that they've got just interest spread all the way from real estate to racetracks that don't really include the New Orleans Saints. And you're seeing them just kind of really shuffle behind. But it still prints money. So there's no sense of urgency to really blow it up. And from my point of view, I think Dennis Allen is just a yes man. I mean, he's just somebody that you can plug and play in there that management can just say, hey, this is what we're doing, and deal with it. And there's really not a lot of pushback because Dennis Allen's press conferences are depressing. I mean, really. I mean, where he doesn't have
the answers.
Like, he doesn't understand and is connected with his team. I mean, his team is saying one thing in the media, and he's saying a whole different tune. And he doesn't even recognize that they're singing a different song. It's like, man, look, you can pull the wool over my eyes for as much as you want, but it's obvious. There's no true passion to contend here. For management, it's about making money, put a product on the field that, can be somewhat competitive, but ultimately you're going to be, drafting 7 through 17, which is NFL purgatory, right? Where, I mean, you don't really grow. You got a coach that doesn't push back. You've got management that's inept. You've got a fan base that's pissed off, but yet still wants to support the product, so still buys the ticket and
complains. Ultimately,
makes the franchise profit, which at this point it looks like they're all concerned
they care about.
Right?
Would you rather be Pete Carmichael or Matt House?
Oh God!
I mean,
would it be Dennis Allen or Matt House?
I think
Dennis Allen.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Dennis Allen knows the instructions. He's playing the role. He
can do whatever he wants.
He's a good student. I mean, they're not getting rid of him. I mean, like,
I'm good.
But by all NFL, like, they fired Frank Reich 10 weeks in.
Mm-hmm.
To some degree, like, I think David Tepper is a terrible owner. I think he's going to run Carolina into the ground probably because he's going to try and run it from the executive suite and just won't hire the right people to make those decisions. But I mean, like he saw it didn't work. Like, get rid of it. The Saints could have done that a month ago.
6 months ago.
They could have done that 8 months. Yeah, I mean, they could have done that 8 weeks ago. I mean, if they haven't made a move, they're not going to make a move, right? And they're not making a move because they don't really care.
Well, also,
to me, that and that's just kind of my assumption. I mean, like, when I'm looking at it, and you see that, I mean, the power structure. Hey, Gail, she didn't live in New Orleans. I mean, ever since she almost got carjacked, leaving Audubon Place. I mean, they've moved her up to a horse farm in Kentucky. She flies in on Saturdays for home games. She spends the greater part of the day at St. Louis Cathedral. She goes to the Dome to kind of, wave the hand and sit in the suite. Ultimately, I mean, we trusting Mickey Loomis to
do everything,
to make draft analysis, to evaluate draft picks. I mean, if so, you're in big trouble. I mean, you're that's not his role. That's not what he does best.
And the Saints are in such a bad spot with Dennis Allen and the staff that if you fired him mid-year, you don't have anybody that you can announce as an interim. Like, you're not going to put Pete Carmichael there. People would go even more insane. Right.
Like, that's what I would be more concerned about. Who's going to make that decision? If it's just going to be another robot that you can put in there that says yes to everything, well, then just keep it status quo. I mean, ultimately, you've got a whack from the top. This is a vine that is taken over. You can try and clip the limbs off of it all you want, but this is a root problem. This is not a Derek Carr problem. You know what I mean? Like, this is not, I mean, like, he's no good. He doesn't get it. His answers in the press conference are terrible, but I mean, ultimately, he ain't the issue.
He wasn't the answer either. He was a Band-Aid on a broken arm.
I mean, you could have signed Aaron Rodgers. Wouldn't have mattered. The place is dysfunctional. The place is second rate. They don't care about it. I mean, and I say don't care loosely. I mean, they care about it. They make sure that it's functioning and the lights are on and that it's making money. But ultimately, they're not trying to compete and win Super Bowls. And when they tell you that, they're lying.
Michael Thomas is live tweeting games.
Exactly.
He's the best coach on the team.
Exactly. And he's calling it like it is.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Like, nobody's really calling him on it.
No, like, he has permission to speak freely because there's nothing you can say. Like, you'll even go to Nick Underhill and Carr's press conference where he's like, I'm not going to tell you. It's like, how can y'all, evolve offensively?
Yeah,
what do you want to get fixed? Like, well, I mean, I'm going to get up here and tell you a whole bunch of nothing.
Well, I'm not going to stop asking.
Right.
I mean,
or you could just answer the fucking question. Like, it sounds like y'all don't know what y'all are going to do, which is fine because that's how it's supposed to be, I guess. But he doesn't have an answer because there isn't one. Like, you just stop lying.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing about the South Louisiana, the New Orleans sports market. And people are smart. You know what I mean? Like,
ain't dumb.
They figured it out. I mean, like this, you're not gonna, dupe them. You know, I mean, you saw it. Yes, the secondary market. I mean, they're just making money off this. The fans are just making money off the Saints now. I mean, they're saying to management, okay, if all you're going to do is make money, then so are we, right? Like, watch that season ticket holder waiting list that they've always promoted and talked about dwindle down and evaporate overnight. That's when you'll start seeing some things happen, but I just don't know who makes that decision. Like, really, in all of that legal battle that happened, that was, Tom Benson versus his family to make sure that Gale got all the money. Well, I didn't know that, like, Loomis, Lauscha, and Benzel were all worked into that deal. But come to find out, they're all part of the economic structure of it. So, I mean, in all reality,
it's a Ponzi scheme.
Who's going to make the decisions? I mean, like, Gale can't say, well, y'all are fired. Well, I mean, like, you're all tied up financially to them until you die. And that's just, that's what the courts say because that's what happened when, they went head to head with Rita. It's a stinky, sticky situation that the Saints feel like priority number 90. You know what I mean? Like on a list of a lot of things that are happening down in New Orleans of, Gale really not paying attention and the power structure really just kind of growing the portfolio, buying more real estate and racehorses than buying players. So I don't know. Maybe that's just too much inside baseball, but I mean that's just my opinion.
We got a call, but just wanted to get y'all point of view on this call. This is from Saturday, another game in Baton Rouge, Catholic and Rummel.
This was a catch.
What are we going with this? Like,
how
do you call this incomplete on the field?
I thought this was what is he looking at? I mean, like
it hit the ground.
Whoa.
It has been the
what do you even the guy you can see like kind of walking up to
the
him,
coach. The coach is like, well, he wants to punch him in his face.
Yeah, I mean,
he wants to take it to review.
This is go to the Superdome. This is go to the Superdome. I mean,
a lot of people in the comments are like, that's the right call. But
and there's two refs right there. Like, it's two refs.
Did the ball hit real quick? I mean, there is a slow mo of it.
Yeah,
there is a slow mo of it, and the ball moves, but he pins it on his helmet.
Yeah, he regains control. I think that's a catch. I mean,
that's a catch.
I think so too.
We're overlooking I think
so too.
That's the problem with sports.
The refereeing in sports has been.
Hollingsworth says he dropped it, no doubt, in the slow mo replay. Did he? I thought the slow mo replay proved that he caught it.
It just felt like he had control of it. I guess you could say he used the ground to make the catch or continue control, but that's one of those ones that's bang bang. It just feels like it wasn't a very obvious drop. Like that's a referee that watches a lot of NFL football.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is by the letter of the law.
I'm about to make this game about me.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's go to the phone lines here before we wrap it up. Have a take, don't suck. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, TK from Dallas.
Hey, TK, what's going on, man?
Oh, not too much. Hey, man, just a quick take on the Saints. Like you mentioned, it's some behind-the-scenes things that, as fans, we don't understand. We're trying to diagnose what we see on the field, but it's pretty telling. Sean Payton, he got out of town and took a year off for a reason. There's some behind-the-scenes things that are probably out of his control that he's normally used to having control of. And to take a year off and then to come back and now he has everything he needs and wants in Denver. And right now, it's kind of the tale of the NFL where you watch younger players start to get beat up a bit and their bodies start to fail, and we just don't have the right reserves to come in along with the coaching staff that's just incompetent or just don't know what they're doing. But all in all, man, it's going to be a quick death and a slow build up until
it's been a slow death
from the top down.
Yeah.
And but on a good note, man, it was good to see Stingley come into his own as a young player, and I think by the end of the season he's going to be up there top 3 as a DB, and I like to see him get that off for nod.
Great call, JP. Thanks for listening, man, and thanks for listening over in Dallas. I agree. You could feel it, man. I mean, Stingley yesterday, everybody was kind of, like this is it. You're seeing it. You're seeing this the takeoff for a young player who's healthy, feeling it. Obviously, yesterday his performance was fantastic, and yeah, I mean, look, it's obvious with the Saints. I think that the Sean Payton situation was telling, for him to step away like he did, to take the year off, for him to really kind of recognize that it's not the same model, it's not the same structure of one that existed where they could compete, you could contend, and the Saints they feel very, very much like a pretender. They feel very fake in a lot of areas, whether it's player management, ownership, evaluation, head coach. That all feels very fake. And I don't mean any disrespect by it, but it's just the truth, and people recognize that. I know that because I've been fake on the radio before. I've been fake in a public forum, and you get called on it so quick. Like you try to be something you're not. You try to compensate for something that you may not feel like you can do, so you go one way. And I just remember being like, man, this is a waste of time. You just got to be yourself, man. You just got to be who you are, and you like it, hate it, love it, don't like it, want it, whatever it is. It's true, and you can feel that the Saints feel fake,
fraudulent.
They feel fake. Like, if Alvin Kamara, who is the face of the franchise and a guy that I trust, loves the Saints, loves the Saints enough to want the best for it. Not that it's his job, but he wants to see them succeed. When he's pushing a message that you're like, look, we don't have an identity, we're nobody's on the same page. And then the head coach to say, no, I don't believe that. Well, I don't believe you. I believe him. I believe Kamara because he's more connected and has more people's best interest in the organization, it seems like, that he's talking about. And, you're pushing a message. I think Dennis Allen is a message pusher. He's a guy that's a yes man. He's a robot.
Following orders.
Somebody that is being told behind closed doors, your job is not in jeopardy. No matter what you read, no matter what you hear, no matter what they say, you're not going anywhere. And you're not going anywhere for whatever reason they tell him. But when he walks out of the room, they say he's not going anywhere because we can tell him what the hell we want him to do for as much as they want. You think John Gruden's going to listen to anybody?
Hell no. It's Sean Payton.
You know what I mean? You think Sean Payton was listening to what Mickey Loomis told him to do when evaluating players? You think if they brought in some young, up-and-coming coach that everybody has followed the model of, right? Everybody who is contending, outside of Andy Reid, has gone out and found some niche guy, right?
Or tried to, at least.
The Saints, to plug and play Dennis Allen when Dan Campbell is beating down the door saying he wants the job along with other people. Who'd they court for a day? Was it Eric Bieniemy? They spent 1 day with him, a whole day.
Well, we have to work, I guess. It looks like we're trying. And that's the thing with Kamara is he's
Larry Huber Jr. Aren't Sean and Mickey good friends? I've heard behind the scenes that they're not. I have been told by trusted people that is not the case. That the last couple of years when they were working together, they were butting heads. They may be personally friends, but professionally they did not vibe. I don't know about the personal details, but I know that professionally it was not what it was on the way out.
Well, and if you have to have a coach like Sean Payton to where he's I'll do everything. You don't have to worry about, this. Dennis Allen is a yes man, but Sean Payton was such an alpha that it was okay, let him do his deal. We don't have to do anything. And with Dennis Allen, it's just do this, just go coach. Because they're not actively trying to win. Sean Payton was actively trying to win, and whether he was over-involved in maybe some draft decisions, but that's at the end of the day, it was his call. He wanted that responsibility because he wanted to win. It doesn't feel like Dennis Allen really cares. It's a body. It's just a warm body. And that's what, when you see Alvin Kamara talk to the media the way they did, it's he doesn't know how to be fake. Right. And then you hear the other side of it's company man.
Yeah, and you could tell he's pissed too.
Yeah, he's I don't care what DA says. I'm gonna tell y'all what it is.
We
and you
suck.
got Michael Thomas being a field reporter. It's so laughable.
I think Derek Carr
and nobody's telling him anything. Like Sean Payton would be like, "Shut the fuck up."
Yeah,
somebody would be like, "Dude,
hey, you can't do this."
Derek Carr missed A.T. Perry, I think, wide open yesterday. And
who?
And Alvin Kamara tweeted. Michael Thomas tweeted. A.T. was wide open right there.
It's like Hard Knocks on Twitter.
Yeah, he's just spite tweeting Derek Carr almost the whole game. I don't like this man. I'm letting y'all know.
Yeah, it's broken. This thing is broken.
Yeah, it is broken.
And we don't care.
Feels
like
broke.
It is.
No repercussions.
It's over, fellas.
I mean, it's
Tyron's still playing at a high level.
It's me working at Dick.
And Tyron's a New Orleanian who gets it. He was asked afterwards, "What do you think about the crowd?" And I saw his quote where he said, "Look, obviously you don't want to hear anybody chanting the other team's names, but New Orleans wants winners. When they don't have one, they're going to let you know about it." I mean, he knows where he is. He knows where he's from. He knows that these people aren't going to put up with what, and I didn't mean these people like, I meant, the New Orleans Saints fans and I just the people in the dome, smart, educated fan base that knows what they're looking at. And it's just, it ain't vibing. And it's not working. And it's not working because it's not working because Derek Carr is no good.
Right.
Like that's not the ultimate issue. Yeah, he's no good, and they're not going to win with him. But ultimately, you could have gotten Patrick Mahomes in that position, and they're not going to win because the management's broke. The structure's broke. Good day for our first day for New Orleans football. Yeah. Sorry, fellas.
Sorry. Here's our take on it.
Sorry, fellas. Sorry, everybody over there. But we are, as we started the show, want to end the show and let you remind you, New Orleans football, our friends down there who cover the Saints on a daily basis, do a great job. We are expanding our model as we are going to team up with them, and beginning on January 1st, we are going to air this show on New Orleans Football. So we're urging everybody to get over to New Orleans Football's YouTube account and make sure and go subscribe if you have not subscribed, because beginning a month from today on January 1st, right around the first of the year, we will be going live from New Orleans Football. So make sure you are following, make sure you are subscribed, make sure if you are on this show and you want to keep up with this show will this channel will still exist. You'll still be able to catch highlights, and we'll have some other things that we go live. But outside of that 7 to 9 block, you need to be following New Orleans Football and be subscribed. Over 45,000 subscribers.
Certainly for the 7 to 9 block.
For sure. I mean, we are going into a bigger audience and space here that we are very much looking forward to with Underhill and his crew. So appreciate everybody, if we're still allowed in after today's take on the Saints.
Well, then, I feel like they have the same perspective as.
Nobody's
more upset about the Nick Underhill because he left the Patriots to come cover the Saints and start his own deal because that's how much he cares about the team. And it's kind of like our relationship with LSU. Like that's the fan base isn't that much different.
Yeah.
You just got to be honest about it.
Frustrating. At some point, you just get frustrated to the point where you're like, they're never going to not care. But stop lying to me.
Yeah.
Right.
I was watching, I think it was
Don't
Brooke.
tell me you have an identity.
Yeah. I think it was
I just
Brooke.
heard your best player
identity
tell you
told me you don't have an identity.
Yeah, right.
He's your identity.
The guy who sets your identity doesn't believe you have one.
I think Brooke had a good, probably a 2-minute video on, I don't know if it was on Twitter. Ron was showing it to me, but it was just her explaining the situation with the Saints. It's not good. And, she was being honest about it, just like we are. It's just not good. It's not going well.
I want to hear Gail.
And she probably won't come out and say anything.
She won't.
Because they won't let her.
Exactly.
She doesn't
Gail,
know.
Shut up.
That's right.
You don't know shit.
Yeah, right.
She's probably, are we making money? Is it in the red?
We're going to get Jayden Daniels, Gail. Don't worry about it.
Oh, we're going to fix everything.
I thought we had Joe Burrow.
It's...
the Derek Carr
really and
signing.
truly, the best thing to do for everybody's sake at this point would probably just be sell it.
Yeah.
You're talking about $1 billion plus, $2 billion plus.
Lloyd, it's my chance.
How much? Give me an evaluation
on the Saints.
Forbes has it.
I'd probably go $1 billion.
No. It's well over $1 billion. It is well over.
But do you have to have the Pelicans too?
Yeah, and I think it is the Saints and the Pelicans together.
$4 billion.
$4 billion?
Mm-hmm.
Just the Saints?
Mm-hmm.
Because the Phoenix Suns went for $2 billion.
Yeah,
$4 billion.
Yep,
Yeah,
$4 billion.
football is big business.
Right. So I mean, if you're
Lloyd,
Todd Graves.
It's our chance, dog.
Let's get in.
We got to get in with Todd, though.
Let's get a collective.
Todd,
Gordon,
like we gotta,
Magic Johnson,
big Magic Johnson. What's he ever done?
How much did Phoenix
Hold the
get?
Mayo.
He's got to be in on
Hold
this.
the Mayo has to get in on it.
Yeah, you could. Get a little steak. Everybody get a little cut. Serve red beans at the game.
I mean,
Phoenix Suns sold for $4 billion.
Yeah.
Could you imagine pulling the trigger on that? Like,
yeah, I think I got a smooth $4 billion for
yeah,
this.
I'm liquid.
Yeah, got to liquidate everything.
Dennis Allen's an Aggie.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
Oh, it does now. Yep, the walk, the look, the act, fake, fraudulent.
God, I thought I couldn't hate him anymore.
Just weird.
Just a weird,
strange dude. Like I caught those vibes last year whenever we went to Saints practice. Like whenever they had the practice in the dome, he had his little presser after. He just looks like an Aggie.
Yeah,
passing back Aggs.
Passing back at it. Feels like he knows he's a fraud too.
He does.
And
He knows.
just like,
he does.
But he doesn't even like.
He
He doesn't
does.
even do it with like a mentality of like,
The
what you
pin
gonna
in
do about
the pin
it?
in the ear.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
That's what coaches do, right?
I mean,
Coaches.
I'm a hardworking guy. I get the pin in the ear.
Yeah.
Time out.
I got a big play sheet.
We signed a quarterback in free agency. What do y'all want?
Then I got he got the
The
pin
one down here.
the pin in the shirt.
Who feels like more of an Aggie, Dennis Allen or Dan Campbell?
Dennis
Dennis
Allen for
Allen.
sure. DA for sure. Dan Campbell's more like
He's just more of a football guy.
right.
Yeah,
I'd
he's
say
just
Dan
football.
Campbell went to Georgia or something.
Yeah.
Like Florida.
He doesn't feel like he went to A&M at
Yeah,
all.
he-
Miami in the 80s.
Right. He
Yeah.
feels like 80s Miami more than anything.
I think that he must have just gotten that might have been like one of two
Set the
offers.
table.
Is he from Texas?
Feels like Texas energy.
Yeah, he's probably from
Definitely has
Texas.
that.
He's like, I got the Texas A&M offer. I go to Texas A&M. Texas A&M was decent.
Yeah, he's from
in that
Clifton, Texas.
time. Yeah,
Hell yeah,
it's
boy.
probably close
Played
to
for the Cowboys.
Wrestling steers.
Yep. I'll
Josh,
take
you
him
see
down.
that?
What?
The Oklahoma
Oh,
State?
yeah, they left a
They
dead.
killed a steer and
Yeah,
put
they
it on
left-
the Texas's fraternity house. It's like, this is bizarre behavior.
Texas was
Took
livid.
it personally.
Texas looked good.
They did?
I'm just riding with this man right here.
It's about nothing but the Tide, baby. Don't give a pass about number Tide. Blitz, Bama, Blitz, baby. Blitz, Bama, Blitz. I love America and I love the Tide, baby. And I love Will and Adele. Yeah, right. Don't give a shit about piss for the Tide. Tide, go get them. Tide, go take them down. 24-17.
Did he call it?
He almost did.
Did he call it?
He almost did.
Who was
Wait,
it?
wait, what's the
24-21?
It was
24-21.
27-24, I think.
That man knows Alabama football.
I don't give a
I feel like
piss
I sat next to Willie at Bryant Denny.
Right, did.
I mean,
I don't give a piss about
that's
nothing but the Tide.
90,000 Willies at Bryant Denny.
If they don't make that
I mean, like
t-shirt,
that
that's
is
them.
There is a section of Bama fans that are
Just like him.
built, sound, dress,
Constructed.
walk, shave, mustache, cut their hair, the whole thing
Just
like
this
Willie.
man.
Like, I mean, like,
The man is incest.
I got caught in a Alabama like super fan loophole
yeah, sure.
on TikTok
Yeah,
last
no,
night.
I sat in section 400.
and I found the video of the guy that killed the Tumor's Corner tree.
Yes, Harvey.
And- yes, and
Harvey.
he's
Harvey
like,
Updike, he's a
Harvey Updike.
legend.
he's like explaining him killing the tree, and he's like, I mean, I didn't want to kill the tree. I ain't trying to kill nobody.
Yeah.
I just killed the tree. It's
He
gonna
called-
grow back.
He called it
He
DePaul.
called- yeah, he
It's
called it a
unbelievable.
Paul 5
I remember it.
Coach,
I mean,
I
we were
didn't-
doing a radio show at the time. I mean, it was gold.
And confess.
You know where they hit him out? You know where they hit him out?
Where?
Tickfall, Louisiana.
Oh my God!
He lived in Tickfall for 2 years after that
Jesus
happened.
Christ!
And
wanted
everybody
to
was
kill
like,
him.
"What happened to Harvey Updike? Where's Harvey Updike? He was living in Tangipahoa Parish."
Oh my God, Coach! That video
Where all the
is-
bodies are buried.
Yes.
Wait, what do you-
I mean, they were like, "Dude, we got to get him off the map. Where should we take him?"
I gotta find what he said. He was like, it was like something like, it's just too much Bama in me, or
Yeah,
something.
that's
like
what,
that.
yeah, that's what he said.
It's like,
That's what he
what?
said. I mean, Paul
Like, that's an excuse.
Paul Feinbaum was like, "Well, this is a felony."
Yeah, you just committed a crime.
He's
Yeah,
like-
he literally said, "There's just too much Bama in me."
Oh, yeah.
But he said that he's talking about the guy that ran on the field for Bama in like the 60s. There's a video of this fan.
Forrest Gump?
It's a super fan, and Bama's playing somebody, and the kick returner is running a kickback, and the dude runs off the sidelines to
Tackled him?
tackle him. And they asked him why he did it, and he said,
the Bear.
There's just too much Bama in me.
For Bear.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Did it for Bear. I mean, we were going after 8. I needed 8.
I saw Brian's eyes.
He
locked in on me.
Yeah.
I had an angle.
Get him.
And coach, in the clip, he runs off the stands.
Yeah.
And like full sprint tackles this man and just runs off the field.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Ace Jordan, I would see Updike and Lowe's all the damn time in Hammond. I'm telling you, dude.
He went buying fertilizer.
Banned him from buying.
You can play the call, dude. Pull it up. The call is amazing.
I mean, coach,
Paul Feinbaum
is starstruck.
He is like, is this happening?
It's like
he's kind of like looking around. He's kind of like,
we need to call the authorities.
This guy is going to jail.
You did what?
I mean, because like nobody was aware of it.
No, he could have gotten away with
tipped it off.
He was still. He had.
Let me tell you what I did, Paul. He calls that old scam Newton.
Those trees are dead. What are you talking about?
You know what I did, Paul? He's like, "What'd you do?" He's like, "I killed those trees." He's like, and Paul like starts laughing. He's like, "No, I took SB 30 490." Drilled holes in the bottom. Like he's like
he was.
I mean, like
it'll be
like,
a couple days that Tumor's corner is dead. He's like what? And then he said, "Well, I didn't kill anybody."
I didn't kill anybody.
It should just be like Harvey Updike, Paul Feinbaum. Yeah. It'll come up.
I mean, I know that there are LSU fans out there that exist that would to the 10th degree. I don't believe there's an LSU fan out there
2019
that cares about this. No. This is earlier than 19. This is like this is pre-SEC network, I believe. I want to say.
Oh, all right. Like this is just audio.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all you need.
Al from Dadeville.
Al from Dadeville.
This man really,
Big Al.
It's just so insane.
2011.
That's all. That's all their screen names.
It's so insane.
Big Al 01.
Al from Dadeville.
Big Al 04.
That's not my real name. I'm Harvey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sweet.
Just admit to everything.
Doesn't care about nothing but the Tide.
Harvey, we're live. No, I don't give a hoot.
Don't care about nothing but the Tide.
Roll Tide, baby.
That needs to be a
Al
t-shirt.
is in Dadeville, Alabama. Hey, Al.
Hey, Paul. How you doing?
Well, thanks.
When Bear Bryant died, I was living in Texas, and I really didn't understand the Alabama-Auburn rivalry.
Didn't even go to Bama.
Never. But a good friend of mine that lived in Birmingham sent me a copy of the newspaper showing the Auburn students rolling Toomer's Corner celebrating Bryant's death.
Now stop. I even though I know what you just got through saying, and even though I know you're quoting from a newspaper, I just have the most difficult time ever believing that Auburn students rolled Toomer's Corner when the news broke that Coach Bryant died. Does anyone else remember that? I don't.
Do you want me to send you a copy of I still have a newspaper clipping.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of awkward here because I'm not doubting your truthfulness. I'm just, are you guys in the other room in as much shock as I am? That is just one of the most shocking things I've ever heard. I do not want to believe that is true.
Let me finish my story.
Okay.
This year I was at the Iron Bowl.
There's no way that could be true.
Well, okay. This year I was at the Iron Bowl.
Okay.
And I saw where they put a Scam Newton jersey on Bear Bryant's statue.
Okay, I mean, again, that's 28 years later.
Okay. Well, let me tell you what I did. The weekend after the Iron Bowl, I went to Auburn, Alabama, because I lived 30 miles away, and I poisoned the 2 Toomer's trees.
Okay, well, that's fair.
I put Spike 80 DL in them.
Did they die?
Do what?
Did they die?
They're not dead yet, but they definitely will die.
Is that against the law to poison a tree?
Well, do you think I care?
No.
Okay, I really don't.
Okay.
Roll damn Tide.
Show your...
I don't give a damn about nothing but the Tide.
You think I care, Paul?
I don't give a damn about nothing but the Tide.
Let me finish my story.
And then he gives the whole, what he used on the tree.
You know what I did, Paul? Yeah. I drove up to Auburn, Alabama the next weekend.
I lived 30 minutes away.
And I poisoned those trees up in Tumor's Corner.
Not yet, but they will be.
I put Spike DF80.
Somebody said he passed away.
He is dead.
He did. He did. R.I.P.
R.I.P. A legend.
I mean,
an SEC legend.
You know how many Tide fans visit his burial?
Oh,
when they make trips to games. I mean, listen to Harvey Updike. He didn't go to Bama. Hell, he didn't live in Bama. He had one of his boys in the 60s mail him a periodical print about Tumor's Corner in the 60s being rolled after Bear Bryant's death. He got no tie to Bama. He didn't know.
I do now.
Got absolutely no tie to Bama. Gets in his car and kills the trees.
It tells you about it.
28 years later, even Paul is like, "Good, get over it, bro." It's 28 years later. He's like, "Hey, no, hell no, Paul." You know what I did?
Scam Newton jersey on Bear.
They slipped that Scam Newton jersey on.
I had
Scam
enough.
Newton.
Scam.
That's
my goodness.
10 out of 10.
Coach, when I was watching that
That's
last night, I was like, I remember being a kid. Like I was young, so I was probably, I think I was a freshman in high school.
Sure.
So,
You think I care?
Me finding that out,
No,
I was like,
I don't.
okay, this man just poisoned a tree. But like now, seeing it and like hearing him talk about it, it's like this man is and knowing how crazy fans are.
Went to his grave believing
that he was
I
right.
did the right thing.
I did the right thing.
I did
Bear,
the right thing for the Tide.
I'm going to see you at the pearly gates here in about 10 minutes.
You better coach me up when I get there.
I can't wait to unite me.
First thing I'm going to tell you.
Don't you think I can play for the Tide right now?
Think I'd give a damn? Let me finish my story.
Hey, Bear, Coach Bryant, how proud of you were you?
Coach, I'm Harvey.
When I killed them trees.
Did it for you. Bear.
I don't even know who he is.
I had to get my revenge when they rolled.
Hey, I loved you at A&M. I appreciate what you did there. But when you went to Alabama, changed my life.
Imagine what the Bears saw in Bama during his prime.
I mean, he had grown men.
It has to be like Saban.
Yeah, he had grown men like bowing down.
It has
to
to be.
him.
It has to be like Saban.
I mean, Coach, I love you, Coach.
The scariest thing about Saban, I'll say this and I'll leave, is that
and I'll hang up.
Is that Harvey Updike? Is that it's been hard to watch coaches get old. Like it's been tough.
Yeah.
I mean, like we can even go to Lee Corso. You know what I mean? So people will not tell this guy for whatever reason that he's old, right? Like I mean, it took a major scandal for Joe Paterno to be pushed out of Penn State.
I mean, it killed him.
It's been very ungraceful to watch coaches age, right? For whatever reason, Saban's doing his best work as he gets older. I mean, I feel like the
the best thing about college, when I get older, they stay the same age.
He's about to rattle off another one.
I know.
He's not even supposed to be there.
His best coaching job.
I believe it is.
It is. It's not his best team for sure.
No,
this
it's not
team
even
is close.
But this team has gotten so much better. It's almost like you want them to play Texas.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, they want to play
championship
Texas
game.
Well, it's going to be a Texas home game. It's in Houston,
and beat the brakes off of them.
And they probably will.
And they will.
Because it's just that's the Saban special right there.
You can rewind 10 weeks. They were in a absolute dogfight with USF.
Yeah, but people forget they signed.
But no, but
they started that bum from Notre Dame.
Yeah, Tyler Buckner.
Yeah, But
that's where they were. They didn't know who their quarterback was.
I think Milroe was suspended.
But yeah, I do too. But we were watching a janky stream from a college kid's phone to even find that game, and then you go.
That's best case scenario for him.
And then you fast forward now, it's like that team's gonna win the national championship.
Yeah, no.
Like, don't you count out the Tide ever?
Yeah.
As long as Nick wakes up in the morning and has his 2 Debbie cakes, the rest of the world's in trouble.
Like, share, comment, subscribe. Talk to you tomorrow, 7 a.m. Appreciate you being here, live from Click Here Digital.
I don't give a piss about nothing but the Tide.
Hey, Chino, put my headphones up, bro. Right there. Monday through Friday from 7 to 9. Yeah, you see the notification. We about to go live. We got all your favorite guests. We got them in line. It's the Jordy Culotta Show. Come have a good time. It's the hottest show around. We ain't gotta flex. Call up G, we get it done. We earning our respect. Tell recruits to let us in. Where they going next? Throw up the L's, now we lit. Band playing neck. From the boot to the east to the west coast. No matter where we at, we live. Mic'd up for show. Open up the phone lines. Come and join the show. Make sure you tell your friends about Jordy Culotta Show. Yeah, Monday through Friday from 7 to 9. Yeah, you see the notification. We about to go live. We got all your favorite guests. We got them in line. It's the Jordy Culotta Show. Come have a good time. Monday through Friday from 7 to 9. Yeah, you see the notification. We about to go live. We got all your favorite guests. We got them in line. It's the Jordy Culotta Show.